Ladies and gentlemen of the congregation. All right, there we go. Got that taken care of. Everybody got to do the wiggle dance. Everybody got to do the wiggle dance. And we're streaming on the appropriate thing this time. I didn't accidentally.
Wait.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I had everything set up except the correct stream key. I had it streaming to YouTube.
I was gonna say, were you streaming on the wrong channel or something? You had
well,
everything set up, but at the wrong place.
Technically, I was streaming to the right channel. But on the wrong platform.
On YouTube.
It was still Fat Dog channel, but on YouTube, not Twitch. I hate that. I had the wrong stream key. We're here, Meep. But this is what happens. This is what happens when I'm rushed to get stuff done. So.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna be starting chapter 4 today. We're gonna actually get stuff done early. I don't have a bunch of Fat Dog stuff to talk about. Apparently, we reached over 69K subscribers, so nice.
Yeah, 420.
This is the it doesn't get any better than this.
69,420. 69,420.
Yeah,
nice.
That was the joke.
Yeah, that was
the next video has to only have 420 views. It cannot have any more than that.
So Keck W, yes. Keck W, yeah. All right, so which means it's all downhill from here.
Yes.
That reminds me, another thing that I may be pitching to Tony that we may do on Fan Friday, even though it's not a thing that a huge amount of us can get into. It's not a thing that a huge group of us can do. I am setting up very soon a multiplayer thing for Sons of the Forest. So I am making a multiplayer map for Sons of the Forest. So those who have it, yeah, there's that. I've also been bothered by a bunch of people. Not a bunch of people, but the growing noise has started for me to start getting demonologist, and I'm like, bro, you already bugged me enough about Phasmophobia, and now y'all want me to play the scary version of Phasmophobia.
I just saw Wade.
I know that I know that it's a scarier version of Phasmo, and that the demo is out for free, and that it's a $20 game or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. I'm moving, relatively soon.
Maybe when that is settled.
Once I know what's going on with that, maybe. But
yeah, it's gonna take you a bit.
I have to be out of here by the end of the month. I have until the end of the month to find a place. All this shit has to get packed up, and I don't know how much of this shit I'm keeping. So there's that. Also,
so priorities.
Yeah, there are priorities, guys. And I'm also really eager to jump back into Sons of the Forest because there's been quite a few updates that have happened, and some cool stuff going on there. Man, imagine listening and giving in to demands of the army of Daves. Well, it's the army of Daves that pay me, so it's specific. It's specifically the ones who pay their microtransactions that I listen to.
There is one game that I feel like you would have to play if it ever got made, and it would be Dave Simulator.
Yeah, I really don't have the time, the money, or the nerves.
If we ever were to develop a game, it'd be Dave Simulator.
And I wouldn't play it on principle.
Yeah, we'd have to find a game developer and just have Richie be like, no.
A Dave developer. I wouldn't play it.
Richie would pirate that.
All right, anyway.
On sheer principle.
True woo.
Yeah.
True woo. All right, so that having been said, we're gonna start chapter 4. It is called Upheaval in the West. If you did not see, I have titled this one, You Can't Play an Orchestra Without Breaking a Few Strings.
Congratulations on graduating from a day.
Zen Master, thank you for the sub. Now,
thank you.
We're going to get started about 4 minutes early. Shim, take it away.
Okay.
More like 11 minutes
The
late,
Demon
but I guess
Lord.
we're looking at positive.
4 minutes early. We normally, dude, to be fair, we normally don't get started until 8:30, so we're actually starting way early.
Mm-hmm. The Demon Lord Leon was in an audience with someone he had trouble dealing with. A woman with long silvery hair and uniquely long ears. She was sunk deep into an ornate chair like a dazzling portrait come to life. It was Amnesia Aru Thalion, Emperor of the land of Thalion, and the two of them were seated facing each other in a gazebo overlooking an elegant garden. A bit of steam wafted out from the kettle on the table, the lady attendant serving them making sure to replace the water before it cooled. A sweet-smelling aroma filled the air, creating a relaxed atmosphere. The two of them watched each other for a moment, but it was Almesia who spoke first. Taciturn as always, Leon. You have come to see me for the first time in ages, and you're that bored already. Her tone of voice was kind, as it should be. Excuse me. Almesia and Leon knew each other, but not just as the leaders of two important trading partners, but as close personal acquaintances. One could tell from this simple fact she granted Leon this kind of audience. They had known each other since before Leon was a demon lord, back in his hero days when his exploits took him to Thalion. They had been friends ever since. I'm afraid now is not the time for idle chatter. I can't say I've ever seen you laugh a great deal. Well, that doesn't matter very much, does it? Excuse me, I don't know why it's got some in my throat.
It's spring.
Time is of the essence right now, so let's get down to business. Yes. I have some pastries from Mr. Yoshida's boutique. Would you care for a bite or two? Almesia's interruption stirred the attendant into action. She pushed a cart up to the table, cutting a couple slices of cake. I don't have much of a sweet tooth. Oh, it's good, you know. But these cookies are made with tea leaves baked in, so they aren't quite as sweet. Matcha cookies, I believe they're called. I'll have that then. From past experience, Leon knew there was no talking over her. It was the same way with the Demon Lord Ramirez. Everyone he had trouble with shared the common trait of never really listening to him in conversation. He calmed himself, already resigned to not having his way here, as he reached for a cookie. Too sweet.
I'm sorry,
you
real
can't
quick.
even take that? Huh.
I'm sorry, real quick. It's like when you said Ramirez, I don't know why, I thought of Modern Warfare 2 Ramirez as a demon lord. It's like, you know what, after all the shit he had to put up with there, yeah, no, he probably could get away with that title. And that's just the cookie thing. It's like, Ramirez, get the cookie! Put the cookie down!
Also, thank you for the good song. Put the cookie down.
Yes. Ramirez, put that cookie down!
Yeah. Where was I? He calmed himself, already resigned to not having his way here as he reached for a cookie. Too sweet. Oh, you can't even take that? No, it's not bad. You never were very honest with your feelings, were you? Well, so what brought you here today, if I may ask? Are you about to ask whether I've seen the children in the Demon Lord Rimuru's nation? Leon sighed. I can never relax around her. She's already picked up on matters. In that case, he felt at least this would save him some time. He mentally switched gears. That's right. I believe Rimuru has it out for me. One of my previous underlings made contact with him, filling his mind with all sorts of ideas. Yes, Shizue Izawa, right? The Conqueror of Flames, was it? She's a household name in this empire as well. Why do you know her? Our relationship was supposed to be a well-kept secret. How about we continue our conversation? Or how about we continue with the conversation? Time was of the essence for you, wasn't it? Leon was growing irritated. He wanted to raise his voice, shouting, Who do you think is wasting my valuable time right now? But he suppressed his urge. Yes, well, I was thinking about extending an invitation to Rimuru sooner or later. I had wanted to clear up our misunderstandings, and I find him too dangerous as an enemy anyway. Letting himself be toyed with by someone was not an experience Leon relished very much. Even dealing with Guy, he could maintain his own pace well enough, but Almesia was simply too much for him. Oh, don't you think you could beat Rimuru? Almesia seemed to take an interest, but Leon wasn't going to accept the challenge. Whether I can beat him isn't the issue. There's no point in antagonizing him. I gain nothing from it and stand to lose a great deal, don't I? Leon's eyes said it all. You made the same conclusion, didn't you? And Almesia agreed. Indeed, and if you build a friendship, you could gain a lot from it. A change of heart in Rimuru could have some very disquieting results. but any leap forward comes with risk. That made sense to Leon, who all but assumed Almesia shared his thoughts. Exactly. Personally, I'd welcome any demon lord who's open to reason. I think Rimuru was smart to join hands with a demon ex-demon lords Carrion and Frey. The only problem with that is the way you've been acting. He wanted to deny it, but was in no position to. The whole reason Leon and Rimuru weren't on good terms came down to Leon's mishandling of Shizu. But, very well. I will make some overtures along those lines for you shortly. If Tempest and El Dorado start taking potshots at each other, it would be highly annoying for us as well. But, yes, the children. I did see them, actually. They seem to enjoy the festival very much. They did? So, now, no, not so fast. This cake is so lovely. Leon was normally the epitome of calmness, but he was reaching the end of his rope. This, he bitterly thought, was exactly why I didn't want to come here. But now was no time for complaints. Among those children, was there a little girl by the name of Chloe? Asking so directly like this came with risks. There was no guarantee Almesia wouldn't try to deceive him, and Leon always endeavored to keep Chloe herself away from danger. But he accepted Almesia as a friend, and in these urgent times, he didn't want to withhold secrets from her. It was with all that in mind that Leon decided to come out with it. So you finally see fit to believe me? Very well, Demon Lord Leon. If you trust in me, I won't hesitate to cooperate with you. Almesia was signaling a change in atmosphere. She turned towards Leon. Now they were both ready to compare notes. The Demon Lord Rimuru was in custody of 5 children: Kenya, Misaki, Ryota Sekiguchi, Gail Gibson, Alice Rondo, and Chloe Aubert, the name of the girl Leon had spent his whole life searching for. Did you know that from the start? You know, you are far too silent for your own good. You don't care if people misunderstand you. You never reveal your true feelings to anyone, and you try to handle everything by yourself. That is precisely why the champion Shizue Izawa never trusted you, isn't it, ex-hero? If Leon had ever spoken honestly with Shizu, maybe their relationship could have turned out differently. Almesia was teasing him about that. She knew Leon was a nice person deep down, and that was why she couldn't put up with him being reviled and feared as a demon lord now. He replied. Enough with your silly suspicions. I've sacrificed a great many things. I'm willing to do anything to rescue her. No matter how bad a reputation it gives me, I'll gladly accept it all. This was the truth. As a former hero and protector of humankind, he realized one day that strictly doing good wouldn't be enough to reach his goals. Ever since then, he never recoiled from getting his hands dirty as he dauntlessly pursued his desires. It was too late to pretend otherwise. He wouldn't attempt to justify his actions. That was the rule and the faith that he lived by. You always were rather inflexible. Do you want Chloe to hate your guts as well? Silence! So Rimuru is taking care of these children, is he? Then he must be trying to lure me into some scheme of his. You have so far failed to eliminate the Rozos. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he's taking good care of them.
Sorry. Yeah. So Rimuru is taking good care of these children, is he? Then he must be trying to lure me into some scheme of his. You have so far failed to eliminate the Rozos, or Cerberus, or even the Demon Lord Luminous. And it's troubling you, isn't it, Leon? You really know everything, don't you? He whispered, the strength drained from his body. It was a reminder of how extensive Almesia's intelligence network was and how right he was to enlist her assistance. At the same time, it also struck him with fear. He was afraid of her, not militarily, but politically, and that certainly didn't make it any easier to deal with her. Right. Well, enough picking on you for now, Leon. Based on our investigation, Tempest and Lubelius are in the clear. The Demon Lord Luminous truly intends to stick to her treaty with the Demon Lord Rimuru. That much, you know, is obvious enough from the actions of Hinata, their paladin captain. As for Cerberus, it's a bit harder to judge them. Much about them remains a mystery, and their bosses do a poor job of working with each other. Perhaps on purpose, it seems. So there's only so much we can learn about their internals from the outside. Let me move on to the Rozos for now. They are bad news. They're doing away with all their protections in the north in order to attack Lubelius, according to my sources. Every agent in the Celt Foreign Information Bureau is being deployed, apparently, and it's currently quite a mess over there. All right, see you soon.
Revan with the 23 months.
He just said
The
he'll talk to me after
that is a
this
long
turn.
time.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The northern nations to the east were lightly guarded, and the battle was about to erupt in the Bellius. The news presented a serious problem to Leon. And Guy must be making a move. And this was it. And this was it, to be exact. The demon lord Guy wouldn't lift a finger, but the demons under him were bound to kick up some dirt. If Guy himself decided to join in, nobody could stop the world from being destroyed then. Even Almesia understood that, but that didn't make the situation any less dangerous for humankind. Certain demons in Guy's stable, Vert and Blue, made certain of that. Yes, that's what I'm afraid of. It presents a serious problem for us all. Unless someone stops his underlings, that might spell the end of the Western nations. Almesia glanced at Leon, who appeared genuinely concerned. Don't look at me like that. I'm just... You're starting to sound like your old self again. Or, oh, that's him. Don't look at me like that. I'm just... You're starting to sound like your old self again, Leon. No, No need to torture yourself. You don't need to put on airs around me. It is cute, but now is no time to play with you. Even in an emergency like this, Almesia never changed. It honestly impressed Leon. Well, he replied, I'm sorry, but I'm going to work towards my own goals. I'd like to make some overtures with Guy, but he's such a contrarian. Negotiating poorly with him would have the opposite effect. Oh, I'm quite aware of that. We need to show we're making an honest effort, or that demon lord might lose all interest in the human race. If the Crusaders aren't able to move right now, our only choice might be to deploy the Magus to the northern regions. Or the Magus, right? Magus?
Magus.
I guess
I think.
Magus.
Magus.
Magus,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Magus to the northern regions. I'll organize a dragon transport to take you partway there. Are you sure? I told you, there's no need for panic. But time is of the essence, isn't it? You'd better get going soon. Events were proceeding faster than Leon thought. Not even he could teleport someplace he hadn't been before, and Lubelius was protected by a barrier anyway. If he was headed there now, air travel was the fastest way. He appreciated Almesia's offer a great deal. Thank you, then. I wish you'd be that thankful more often. Oh, and I'm sure this goes without saying, but Cerberus absolutely wants to ensnare you. It's a blatant trap. Do you understand me? I know, came the terse reply. I'm sure you do, she said with a slightly sad smile. Leon had always been that way, never showing any external sign of weakness, never giving up on his mission no matter the danger. He never lost heart that way. A boy living like a true hero. Even as a demon lord, that still held true. He's still as clumsy as always. He hasn't changed a bit from back then. It made Almesia happy and sad in equal measures. A little while later, as he boarded the dragon ship, Leon suddenly turned back towards Almesia as if remembering something. To repay you for your advice, I should probably tell you that Jean has disappeared. You should be careful too. What? She reared back in genuine surprise. It made Leon chuckle a bit. Intelligence is practically your hobby, and you didn't know that? Glad I could help then. Then he turned back around and left, the thrill of victory echoing in his heart. After he was gone, You're kidding me. 3 of the primal demons, while I have half of the Magus deployed? Or Magus deployed? What kind of sick joke is this? But I suppose it would require that much to make Leon take action, wouldn't it? I misread him again. Thus Almesia was left behind, hand on her forehead, muttering about all these people selfishly ruining her plans. We had a clear sky from daybreak, a pleasant breeze heralding the start of a wonderful day. That, at least, was my expectation. Reporting in. A group has penetrated the cathedral grounds. There's talk of battle on the site. But the paladin apprentice who came storming in told me just how wrong I was. Calm down. What's their size and how much damage is there? Hinata, enjoying breakfast with me, kept a cool head. Again, whenever I see her like that, I feel so glad I'm not her enemy. Their numbers are unknown, my lord, but we've confirmed close to 100 hostiles. Their strength is at least B+ in rank, and they're demonstrating a knowledge of our nation's internal layout. Nearly 100 B+ fighters made a pretty formidable force. And if they knew the city's layout, I'd have to assume that they were with Granville. As of now, our apprentice knights have suffered extensive casualties. We have several members of the Master Rooks down in action as well. Fortunately, no civilians have been harmed. The messenger was giving us the news straight, and it wasn't rosy. I'd normally be losing my temper about now, but I was a guest here, So I resisted the urge to butt in and just sat there quietly. Maybe that sounds cruel of me, but this just isn't my turf. I see. Then I will assume our enemy is Gren, leader of the 7 Days clergy and the Rosa family under him. They are no doubt packing much more force than they're letting on right now. Send out the deployment order for all garrison crusaders. It sounded like the enemy had taken even more casualties than our side, but Hinata wasn't going to let up. Well, that was her. I knew she wouldn't, but something still worried me. By the way, this isn't the same cathedral that we left our instruments in yesterday, is it? If so, that was trouble. Baton and the rest of the orchestra installed their kit there for acoustics checks. I doubted there were that many cathedrals in this nation, so I had a very bad feeling about this. And whenever I had a feeling like that,
It's okay.
that's the only...
No one rocks like Baton.
Hey.
Or no one rocks like Baton or... what was it? Has nice locks like Baton.
No one conducts orchestra shocks like Baton.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
No one does shots like Baton.
His music is
Shots.
catchy and aggravating.
And captivating.
Captivating.
Right?
Okay.
Captivating.
Yeah.
For some reason, aggravating was the only word that came to mind, but it was like,
Baton. I mean, it could be. But, oh yeah. That's the only cathedral in the country. Yes. It usually turned out to be right. In fact, it had yet to be wrong. Already dreading what was to come, I turned towards Diablo. He just smiled back and said, "Not a problem." Apparently. He opened up a thought communication with Venom the moment the messenger arrived. Capable as always, I see. And Venom's response was just as commendable. Baton and the orchestra were already in the cathedral for the day, but he made sure they were kept under careful guard, not letting anyone suspicious come near them. They were still making final instrument adjustments, even. They're still at it with an army advancing on them? What's up? What? What's up?
Just the idea of it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, there's a war on. Play, boys, play.
The show must go on.
Yeah, man.
Change the song to some good battle music. We gotta really
Yes.
hype
What-
this shit up.
what was that one
Yep.
song Rimuru had told us about? Something about Valkyries. That would be perfect in this moment.
What is that? How does this? What song go?
No new crap.
No. What was that? Goes, do I hear battle? Do
Do I hear the
You
sound?
have to have the-
No. No, we'd have to go a little more classy. Oh shit.
Play something.
Hold on.
No, there wouldn't be the Star Wars stuff. No. He's
No offense,
Japanese
Dennis.
weeb. He's Japanese weeb. It's Final Fantasy music.
That's true.
Oh, well, or what
Fair,
about Star
fair,
Wars
fair. Okay.
Visions?
So what was the name of that song
They
from
could do the
Final
Dragon
Fantasy
Quest
X?
one.
The metal
Topical
song.
because they did just announce Star Wars Visions 2 today.
That's why I mentioned it.
True.
It could also be.
But, however,
However,
it's not Japanese only. It's mostly global. There's only one Japanese studio working on one
This
show.
time?
It's mostly
Yeah.
like it's a lot of like
It's an
French-
anthology.
It's a lot
So-
of French.
I know one of them was, I think,
frickin-
claymation or something like that.
Mhm. That's being
It's sad
done
that there are
by
no
a lot of
sequel
Hispanic
episodes from
it's a lot of
season one.
Hispanic studios and Latin American studios. There's a Korean studio. Ultimate Battle from DBS. Huh.
Ooh.
The battle goes on
This
outside.
is
You
the
just hear.
ultimate showdown of
Showdown.
ultimate destiny. Good guys, bad guys, and
No
explosions. As far as the eye
You
As
just
can
far
hear,
as
you
the
hear
eye
the
can
battle
see.
outside, and suddenly.
Yeah.
Rimuru joins the battle, and then they start
Yeah,
playing the
there you go,
Sephiroth
there you
theme.
go.
No, I think the Sephiroth theme is more. I think
Or
the
Kirby
Sephiroth
Roth.
theme is probably more appropriate for when Leon joins the battle.
No, fair.
Oh,
Well, okay, what is he not as then?
Also,
What's
that's,
he not
that's
as
also
theme?
terrible.
Not his theme.
Probably Kyrie's
What would they play
theme.
for her?
No, wait, no, not Kyrie.
Oh no.
What's her name? Aqua.
Tifa
Aerith.
or... Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
fair.
Badass bitch.
Would he not approve of it, or she just be like, every time she goes on a battle, she's like, I hate that stupid song every time.
Well, she'd probably
every
think it'd be
time."
extra.
Either
Actually,
that or
I
just
think-
start
I think
playing
Hinata's song.
Simple
I
and
think
Clean.
Hinata's song is just cool guys never look at explosions.
Don't look at explosions.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But they say never look at explosion, and then she's like, "Oh come on, we know you know, Reburu. You know that's not the right lyrics." Damn it, Reburu.
Let's have a party, gotta have a party.
You need to have a
You
party.
better
You
party,
better have
hottie.
a party.
Literally, Veldora starts raging, and it's just the Geico theme.
The Geico theme.
The Geico.
They have
theme.
a theme? I thought it was just Geico. Save you 50% or more.
Save
on car
50% or
insurance.
more on your car insurance.
Literally, that's it. Veldora's like,
Or
come
I guess
on!
or I guess wagon insurance in this world. It's like, okay, yeah, Veldora's gonna rage, a wagon's gonna get destroyed or something.
Dragon wagon insurance.
My cabbages!
Veldora, come on, man. Veldora would rage out to the fucking crab rave. Let's be honest.
Do, 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 do,
Who would get the Doom music? Who would get Doom music?
Doom music?
Fucking,
That's probably like Benny
Who get the
Diablo.
Blanco.
orchestra?
Diablo or
Diablo
Benny. Yeah.
starts getting serious.
No,
then you just hear,
No, I think Shion maybe, but not Diablo.
No, Diablo would.
Like I said,
100%.
maybe.
I already know what Diablo would have. If you have not gone and checked his shit out, there is already a mix from oh god, I forget his Samuel Kim Music.
Alright.
He has a mashup of Attack on Titan meets Beethoven of Moonlight Sonata. That is literally, it is Attack on Titan meets Moonlight Sonata. That is Diablo shit right there. If you have not
Some
heard,
sort of
I like what
classical
Ryuma said.
mixed anime. Yeah.
it is
I like what
literally
Ryuma
that is
said.
that is
Zoe
literally-
gets fighting dreamers. We are fighting
That one.
dreamers.
I mean, he is a ninja, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, like, Soe would like really enjoy it. Like, he'd rock out to it, but he wouldn't be like super like epic about it. He'd just like just nodding to it. It's like,
Yeah, that's.
no, I can dig this. I like this.
Guy,
So it's just like-
Zegion?
I like this.
Zegian just gets the Pokemon theme song, sorry.
I wanna be
you know what?
the very
Benny
best.
Maru
best.
gets one of the Bleach theme
No
songs. Benny
one
Maru
ever
gets a Bleach
was.
song.
can see that.
Yeah.
I can see
Now
that.
I feel like
Which one?
number
They made a lot.
one.
Probably actually the
Now I
first
feel
one
like
because it was like a really good one.
Okay, what about
Oh,
Hakuro? We're gonna go through all. Feels like
Why
we're
are
going
we
through
coming
everybody
up
here.
with theme
Yeah.
songs for these?
Because we're talking about
it's
music and
fun.
orchestra,
Back
and battle
to
music.
the-
Yeah.
Back to
We're
the
having
fucking-
fun.
I know, but
This is appropriate. It's like
It
now
is.
chat's gonna be like, no, we need to know.
Cha-la.
Chat,
Back
back
to
me
the
up
book.
here.
Back to the book. Back to the book.
Yep.
Ain't gotta ooh the
Yeah.
Shion gets
gets
food
There.
wars. No.
Yes.
All right, done. Done. All right, we
Good.
killed it. We killed it. We're
You
done.
ruined it.
You
You
ruined it.
ruined it, and I
You ruined
hate
it,
you.
I'm leaving.
See, there's two types of people in this world. All of them who said no, and me who's like, yeah.
Vegeta's no. You say Vegeta yes.
Vegeta, yes.
Yes.
Damn right. A proper Saiyan Christmas.
Oh shit.
Good. I lost track. Where am I?
Yeah, I don't know where we're
I
at.
killed him.
Yeah, I got him.
You must think you're really cute, don't you?
Bitch, I'm,
Yes.
I'm
adorable.
adorable.
Good.
Moonlight,
Like,
yes.
yes. Like,
Mm.
yeah.
When do we
Boxing
get
Day!
Trunks?
Like,
When do we get Trunks saying Trunks yes or something like that?
no.
Probably never.
Yeah, Trunk,
but-
That's not a Trunks line.
Trunks would
not.
yeah. Well, he said, "Bitch, I'm adorable." Once it's like, yeah, that's Vegeta.
Yeah.
That's
That's
Vegeta.
his father
Adam.
coming out.
Guess the apple
about
doesn't
it.
shake for. Guess the apple doesn't fall very hard if you shake the tree far enough. No, it's the other way
Hard
around.
enough.
God damn it! Guess the apple doesn't fall far if you shake the tree hard enough.
Tree hard enough. Yeah, there we go.
All right, did it.
Eat the
yeah,
apples.
I said the thing. Yay! Back to the book.
Nah. Okay.
Huh.
They were still making final instrument adjustments. Even they're still at it, even though the army advancing on them.
I like to
Man, oh,
adjust
man.
my instrument. Hi-oh.
Of
I
course,
got your
they are.
instrument.
Calibrate.
If Venom, yeah.
That
If
will
Venom
not
couldn't
age
handle.
No.
No, absolutely not.
well. Nope.
Of course they are. If Venom couldn't handle this much of a crisis, I would have brought him in to assist. I could learn from that confidence.
Should have went to Carnage.
Well, we can't sit around either. Wait, what?
not
What'd you
sorry.
say?
He made
Instead
a
of
dumb
Venom, he should've
Venom
brought
and Carnage
Carnage.
joke. God damn it.
Oh, gotcha.
Nice.
I haven't seen
It's
that
right
movie, so-
there. Come
It's a good
on.
one.
You idiot.
It's right there.
I hate
I could
you.
learn
You
from
said
that
Vegeta.
confidence.
No, I said Vegeta. Yes.
I
Bring
hate
it
you
back
and
to
I'm
that.
leaving.
All right, moving on.
You ruined it. You ruined it and I'm leaving.
Well, we can't sit around either. Let's go. Trying to hide my feelings of inadequacy, I used Dominate Space to open a portal to the cathedral. I've begun to master this a little more, even within Lubellius, protected by its holy barrier. I had no problem launching it. I suppose that barrier didn't interfere with internal teleportation or the like. Phew. I can't even give you snide comments about that anymore. I'll join you through there. Oh, Hinata. Hinata looked a tad fatigued. I was about to ask why she wasn't looking so hot this morning, but I stopped myself, not wanting it to be misconstrued. See? I can learn from my mistakes. I don't want anyone calling me inconsiderate again. Okay.
Okay, you won't be inconsiderate again, but we're still gonna call you an idiot.
We were also joined by a man named Nicholas. I thought he was a servant since he brought us breakfast, but it turns out he was a cardinal on the chief council for the Western Holy Church. He had a fancy theologian's robe on beneath his apron. So I guess he wasn't lying, but why was someone that high up tending to Hinata's meals? The plot thickens, I suppose, but that didn't matter right now. Our kids were in the cathedral as well. They were all up bright and early, so I sent them over a little while ago. Diablo said they were under full protection, but you never know what could happen in this world. Taking a deep breath, I quickly transported myself over to the cathedral. Once I was inside, I could hear the sounds of intense battle beyond the walls.
Battle!
Baton and the rest were there. Or, yeah, they're gonna... It's all part of the orchestra, it's fine.
Battle!
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, we could have gone the Persona route, too. Baby, 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 baby. Sorry. Looking...
Look, the Final Fantasy X battle music is what they're playing in my head.
Yes.
I mean, it works. It's
I just
thematically
imagine-
appropriate.
I just imagine Goku's like, all right, we're gonna need some appropriate music for this.
The time I was reincarnated as a flan.
Flan.
A
Flan,
flan,
you
sorry,
fool.
not a flan.
Fran,
Anyway.
you fool, Fran!
I'm
Yeah.
your biggest flan.
No.
Flan. Baton and the rest were there, looking
Here's my quickie
understandably frightened.
review. Super Mario Brothers movie, 7 out of 10. D&D movie, 8 out of 10. There you go.
Fair.
What about the
I
Sonic
still
the
need to
Hedgehog
see
movies?
Those were a while ago.
I mean,
Yeah.
they went by pretty quick.
Yeah.
Your dirty mouth!
Talk about putting all your eggs in
What?
one
You
basket.
You gotta go
Yeah.
fast.
I mean, sometimes you gotta go fast.
We gotta get through these real quick. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could... Oh,
Gotta
once
put
I
a
was
real spin
inside,
on it.
I could hear...
Sonic.
Fantastic. Hedgehog.
What
That's
a
it.
tale.
That's my pun. Yeah. Hold on, let me crack my knuckles real quick. Sorry.
Like an
Anyway.
egg.
Is this a
Yes.
rouge? I mean, ruse?
Nah, she's not in the movies yet.
Shh.
If you ever had a shadow of
Yeah.
a doubt.
Yeah.
Next movie,
Sometimes
yeah,
you
maybe.
just gotta crack an egg, man.
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you.
And
that
then have a
one.
nice
I'll
cup
actually
of
give you
coffee
that
with cream.
one. It's very big, very big.
Not to
cup.
be confused with cream cheese.
Anyway. Once... I can't even...
Gotta get the Duke of Comedy in here.
Okay.
That's a really obscure one for those who know.
See, I don't
Oh,
hate
man.
puns, but when they're forced like this,
I know. That's
We
great.
don't have a stop. There's no stop button. For
When they're
those.
forced like this, it's chaos. Sorry.
Yeah, it
That's not
becomes a
even-
big problem, like a cat.
All right. Anyway.
Alright, moving on.
Sorry. He is upset.
We try. We try.
Once-
We try.
Once I was inside. Okay.
Keep it together,
I'm
guys.
gonna take a
Let's
water.
go.
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
take a drink of water and I'm gonna continue.
Gotta live and learn.
I gotta escape to the city. I gotta go escape to the
You.
city, guys. I gotta
You.
go escape to the city. Bye.
Get a
Come
load
on,
of this
gotta
guy.
keep rolling around at the speed of sound. The little scream off the screen.
It's a
By the way, I'm a huge Sonic fanboy. I could go forever.
Sonic.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
We need some heroes. We need a hero right now. I'm holding out for one.
Sonic and the Black Knight. There we
go. There we go. Really good pun. Well done. Well done. Great job.
Really? You're gonna go with the Black Knight? Sure, you don't want
I
something.
don't know. Like
The Black Knight? Really? Sure, you don't want something in a more emerald color?
Sonic and the politically appropriate knight.
Why does it have to be an emerald to hold a ring? The secret ring, specifically. There we go.
Well, you were mentioning
getting that game in there.
You were mentioning chaos earlier. I figured you might want something of a more emerald hue.
Guys, I forgot. I need to head to the store. I'm gonna need to take a Sonic Riders over there.
Sonic Riders.
Can you give me a burger at Sonic?
Yeah.
Yeah,
can we go to the restaurant?
Why would you want it?
Why
Why a burger?
For a burger at Sonic when you
need a chili dog?
Get a chili dog.
That's Sonic's thing there.
Oh yeah,
Come on,
right.
you messed up.
I've never been to Sonic. I'm sorry.
Really?
No,
Pretty good,
I've never been to Sonic.
Not bad.
Ever.
It's pretty good.
Everyone's wide-eyed. I live in the rural area, dude.
I live in a fucking.
They have them like everywhere.
Bro, I live in Bumfuck City. I
know where 5 Sonic locations are.
Bro, I live in no. You don't get to say I live in a rural area. I live in bumfuck fucking Tennessee, and we have a Sonic here. That's not an excuse.
You live in Tennessee. I live in Washington. That's different.
So
different state.
So
I'm pretty sure Washington has a Sonic.
I'm actually literally I'm going on Google Maps right now to find it.
If not, definitely a Chick-fil-A. I'm sure.
You ruined it.
Yeah.
You ruined it and we're leaving. All right, moving on to the next.
All right.
Yep. He ruined it.
Once I was inside, I could hear the sounds of intense battle beyond the walls.
Baton
and the rest were there. Yeah, just very muffled. Baton and the rest were there, looking understandably frightened, but then I heard Shion's booming voice. Do not lose your composure. Have you forgotten what Sir Rimuru said? He himself told you to concentrate on your music, for you are guaranteed to be safe. So why have you stopped practicing?
It's 3 hours, by the way.
That's kind of an insane thing to say, isn't it?
You got
We're
him.
in the middle of a battlefield. Yeah, got him. Yeah.
Got him.
Got him.
Yeah. That's kind of an insane thing to say, isn't it? We're in the middle of a battlefield, Shion. Ordering non-combatants not to be frightened right now was a really big ask, I thought. My apologies, Lady Shion. I think we were all just caught a little caught in the moment. Huh? Did Shion's scolding eyes actually restore the focus to Baton's eyes? And now here he was, turning back towards the performers and lifting his arms up high. They must have noticed me by this point because I could feel their eyes on me. I don't know if that was the cause, but now everyone seemed more relaxed, their tension draining. They were even smiling. Let's continue our rehearsal. Nobody voiced any dissent. Baton, seemingly taking the orchestra's agreement as a given, began conducting, and beautiful music filled the room, not a single note out of place. It almost seemed powerful enough to drown out the war going on outside. Listening on, I couldn't help but be proud of everyone I brought along. Having this battle gain a sudden musical accompaniment made it almost seem like a stage show, but of course this was no production. In another moment, I found the kids and ordered them to stay where they were. For all we know, that could be playing.
That's very appropriate right now.
That would be fucking powerful if all of a sudden Mario music started fucking playing.
Hell yeah.
And then Rimuru just starts jumping across heads. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yahoo!
Right. Yahoo!
Yippee!
I like Daxter's comment. Shion, if you don't want to play the music, we can always stop for a snack. Play the music! Play it more!
Jesus. In another moment, I found the kids and ordered them to stay where they were. No, but I wanna... began Kumara before I shut her down. Right now, she was by herself, only one tail, and just like the other children, she was too young for actual battle yet. Calling Shion over, I ordered her to protect them with Diablo. What are you going to do, Sir Rimuru? Me? I'm gonna squish these roaches. Whoever's facing off against Hinata's forces is the cause of this. It's time to kick him out of here. Normally, it'd be ill-advised for a guest like me to step into the fray. But watching Baton's orchestra give their all like this, I wanted to do whatever I could to make tomorrow's concert a success. Very well, Diablo said. What's the matter, Vice Secretary? It's rare for you to actually accept an order from Sir Rimuru. Shion gave Diablo a surprised look. Yeah, I was kind of floored by that too. I all but assumed Diablo would volunteer to join me, but if I wanted to keep the scene from growing any bigger, this was probably best. All right, the chamber is yours. Best of luck to you. Shion seemed to have her concerns, but given what she just told Diablo, she was in no position to protest now. That suited me just fine, so I flung myself outside and into battle.
Like a ragdoll.
Yeah, just good.
Diablo,
Enemies
swing
and
me.
perfect spirals, Just Enemies and allies were scattered across the cathedral entrance. The main door was battered down, not a trace of it left, and over 100 people were currently engaged in battle. Among the standouts, certainly, was a figure Hinata was up against. He was an old man, but his back was straight as a fence post, his moves nimble and artistic. He was dressed in a fancy-looking suit, and his sharpened eyes indicated he was no one to be trifled with. He wasn't a monster, but likely not human either. And looking at the aura around him, I could tell he was packing a formidable amount of force. Who's that? Granville Rosso, leader of the 5 elders and head of the Rosso family. Him? That made sense to me. Maria, the man said. Find Lady Luminous and bring her here. If she resists, kill her if you must. At his summons, a woman stepped in front of me. Her features reminded me of Maribel, but she was a young adult in age. I wouldn't be surprised if they were blood relatives, but I couldn't say if she was Maribel's mother.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
Failed to confirm blood relation with genetic evidence.
Whoa, you can just tell by visuals? Cool, I guess. So if it was no coincidence that Maria looked like Maribel, that made me wonder what her strength was like. She sure didn't look like she'd hold her own against Luminous. Was Granville seriously ordering her to seize that woman? A demon lord? Very well. I will begin immediately. The woman called Maria walked off, never looking my way. It was all so mechanical. All I could say was that it wasn't like any regular human being. I couldn't gauge her strength, but I guess Luminous would before too much longer. Me, I need to get Granville out of here. If we could talk this over, then great. If not, I was prepared to end this quickly. Nice to meet you, Granville. I'm the Demon Lord Rimuru. Any decent conversation needed to begin with a greeting. I had a hunch our relationship wasn't going to be too friendly, but we might as well start on the right foot at least. You're Rimuru? How dare you take Maribel from me? Whoa. She started it. Yeah. Or yeah, I guess he's got it in for me. But Maribel's death was an accident. It seemed unreasonable to blame me for it. I know telling him I didn't mean to kill her would be a dumb excuse, but really, if Maribel didn't start gunning for me, none of that would have happened. Not that I expected Granville to accept it. Yuki said he'd try reasoning with him, but now that I no longer trusted Yuki, I could kind of imagine what he said or what he had said about me. I doubted this was something we could iron out with words any longer.
Report, regardless of what was said, you would likely have been in conflict with him.
Yeah, I was sure. Something told me it would be just as hard to coexist with Granville as it was with Maribel. In which case, I'd just have to overpower him. But I guess it's pointless to say that, isn't it? Then let's prove to each other who's in the right. Say what you will. You think a demon lord upstart like you could defeat me? I'll fight you later. So just stay there and watch your allies are picked off, one by one. A demon lord upstart like me? Given that he used to be Luminous' servant, this guy sure seemed to like his chances. I mean, yeah, the power of a monster depended a great deal on how old they were. But any demon lord, no matter how young, should have at least have given him pause. Guess this guy's more confident than I thought. And now someone else was here to challenge him. There's no need for Lady Hinata or Sir Rimuru to step up. Grand of the 7 Days Clergy, your fight begins with us. It was Nicholas who shouted this. Isn't he way too up there in the hierarchy for this stuff? Then I remembered Cardinal Nicholas was the guy who set a trap and cast disintegration on Granville. Gutsy move, definitely. He was currently accompanied by 3 Crusader captains, the sub-leader Renard, along with Arnaud and Lidus, I guess.
Yeah,
Linus.
close enough.
Yeah. Fritz and
Light us
Bacchus
up.
would have been training at the Labyrinth right now, so they weren't here. That this was going to happen. But again, that's not for me to judge. Behold, Lady Hinata. Watch us in action. At Nicholas's orders, Renard propelled himself forward. Not just him, actually. Arnaud and Lidus as well. all rushing Granville at the same time. These 3 captains were attempting to buy enough time for Nicholas to cast Disintegration again, I figured. A pretty grandiose strategy, but that must be how wary Nicholas was of his foe. Renard used his magnificent sword moves to keep his foe at bay. Arnaud's keen perception let him match every move of Renard's, as Lydas provided handy backup for them both. Normally, an attack from this trio would end the battle right then, but it was well within Granville's capabilities. Like a picture from a textbook, he engaged all 3 of them at once, wholly ignoring Nicholas's spellcasting. That creeped me out a bit, as did the serene look on his face, not a single bead of sweat on his forehead. He, I felt, was simply on a different tier from them. Nicholas had only 1 verse left in his spell. Its effects would summon a layered magical circle, with Granville standing in the middle of its light-infused dungeon. Once the disintegration was complete, there was no way to block its dazzling rays, as it dismantled the soul of its target at the speed of light. That's what should have happened, but now all common sense was thrown out the window. A fine spell there. No better way to read the flow of your magic. Granville's voice sounded frightfully cold as he spoke, like a teacher commanding a student from high above. Hinata, hearing it, muttered a soft, "No." As the blood drained from her face, she must have noticed something, but there was no time to inform Nicholas. "Time to die! Disintegration!" The rays of lights were cast, heading straight for Granville, and suddenly they switched paths and were sucked straight into the sword in his hand. It happened in an instant. Even with my perception accelerated a million times over, it was difficult to pinpoint, but I recognized exactly what happened because I had witnessed it before. It was Overblade, Melt Slash, the most powerful of sword skills, just like what I saw from Hinata. "Spread out!" Renard and the others instantly heeded Hinata's order. They worked fast, true to their military precision, but not fast enough. Once Granville threw out his Melt Slash, it immediately generated a fan-shaped shockwave, and in that single moment, Hinata pushed forward, came in front of Nicholas, and stopped Granville's sword. The frontal force of the Melt Slash sent Hinata flying. She bashed against Nicholas, which kept her safe, but I'm sure Nicholas was out of the battle. If she wasn't wielding the Legend-class Moonlight right now, they'd both be a pile of ash. That,
Hey.
and even... What's up?
His name.
Moonlight.
Oh, gotcha, yeah. Legend-class Moonlight. That, and even the secondary shockwave blew Renard and the other captains away. They were all on the ground, knocked out by that single blast. Are you all right?" Nobody answered. I could detect a twinge of panic in Hinata's face as she glared at Granville. Even someone as cold as her didn't expect this level of force, and now it's Granville doing the talking. I couldn't kill a single one of you? I must be getting rusty. You have that demon lord over there to thank." "Huh? What do you..." Hinata took a glance at me, growing calmer. Now she seemed to understand. "Oh, you saved them. Thanks, Rimuru." "You're welcome." I gave Hinata a light nod. Yes, Renard and the others were merely knocked out because I lent them a hand. The moment I realized this was trouble, I launched absolute defense. Otherwise, they'd have vanished without a trace. The wall that skill built was perfect, I thought, but I guess I expected too much from it. Absolute defense, part of the ultimate skill Uriel, Lord of Vows, could block any sort of attack. There were some exceptions, such as Yuki's anti-skill, so I couldn't rely too much on it, but it was always a helpful arrow in my quiver. However, although it was perfect for self-defense, trying to deploy it on someone else, multiple targets even, blunted its effects. Even if a little force got through, I could always count on infinite regeneration to wipe up any problems. That's why it so perfectly defended me. But not the paladin captains. The little bit of the shockwave that penetrated the absolute defense pushed them to the brink of death. They really escaped disaster by a hair's breadth. I had no idea someone besides me learned Melt Slash. Color me just a little bit surprised. An arrogant thought, Hinata. With all the years that have passed, some have reached your level, you know. Yeah, I mean, I could use it, so... Although admittedly, that was just Raphael doing its usual analyze and assess job on it. Still, to completely leverage Melt Slash, you needed full, intimate knowledge of how disintegration worked. If there was a handful of people wielding that now, I guess the human race was a lot more capable than I thought. It did make sense, though. A human hero once sealed Valdora's away, so at least some of them had to be that strong. Even being a demon lord, I really couldn't rest on my laurels. But look at me. My mind was wandering, and I really couldn't afford that. So, what is this I see? High officers and the paladins almost killed by something of this level? How worthlessly pathetic. You couldn't even begin to compare with the sword masters of the past, to say nothing of myself. Granville seemed to believe his own claims. He honestly didn't think Hinata would pose a challenge. That's a funny thing to say. Care to test that out? Hinata flashed a cold smile. She was just as serious, it seemed, and I had no room to interfere. Then a sudden thundering explosion by the cathedral told me how incorrect I was. Razul? I ordered him to, Razul. I ordered him to destroy the cathedral, and it seems he's doing a thorough job. What did you? The kids and the orchestra were still in there. Shion and Diablo were charged with protecting them, but if all-out war was erupting, they were bound to be caught in it. I was hoping to make short work of Granville, but at this point, maybe it was best to eliminate the uninvited guest first. With that in mind, I attempted to teleport myself to the cathedral, but Granville stopped me. Demon Lord Rimuru, I will let this group entertain you. Enjoy. You may even find some of your own kind among them. Several people stepped up at his order. Immediately, I understood what he meant. The group consisted of many races and many ages, no real theme to them, but they each had something in common. More magicals than any regular person would possess. Otherworlders? Yeah. Maybe there's 1 or 2 Japanese people in here. Now was not the time to act all casual about this. I had 10 or so otherworlders attacking me at once. Like Glenda from the past, they seemed to be under the effects of a locking curse, robbed of their freedom of movement, and unlocking that curse wouldn't stop them by the looks of it. Still, you intend to fight. You realize they're only doing this because I've enthralled them, do you not? How treacherous of him. I'm sure he said that to make me hesitate, and I hate to admit, but it worked. I heard how soft and weak-minded you were. Can you kill innocent human beings? Can you tell yourself this is war and step up to defend yourself? Not that I mind either way, of course. Granville only saw the summoned otherworlders as weapons, nothing more. To him, they only had value as throwaway pawns, and he was right. Killing them shouldn't make any difference to me. He really was a menace. Clearly, he had done his research. If Diablo or Shion were taking these guys on, they'd show absolutely no mercy, I'm sure. But did that make it okay or not okay for me? Damn it! What a pain in the ass! I had no time to agonize over this. The children were in danger if I didn't do something fast, and now the damage was just going to get worse. At this point, there was just one option to take. As annoying as it was, I'd have to unlock the curses of every one of these guys and knock them out non-lethally. Thus, I was now an active participant in this battle.
You should have been an active participant from the fucking very beginning, you dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
All right. Moon, your turn.
Cool.
Yep.
My fellow humans were closing in on me. For all I knew, maybe they were from some other planet or dimension besides Earth. But now my mind was wandering again. Guess I was back in my element. Otherworlders were blessed with extraordinary physical skills, as well as a variety of special skills that were impossible to predict. That made them dangerous, of course, but they weren't a threat to me. Not even Glinda could hurt me, whether I put up a defense or not. That's how all-powerful the combo of absolute defense and infinite regeneration was. These foes were still a handful, but not much more than that. With enough time, I could safely neutralize all of them. I wasn't about to go easy on them, but that was my honest assessment. Besides, I had Raphael, which meant that going easy wasn't an option to start with. So I used part of my vast computational skills to begin surveying the situation. First, I looked at Hinata, fighting right next to me. Granville, who had mercifully shut up for me, was gracefully clashing swords with her, both of them equipped with nothing but their rapiers. They held them in their right hands. Their left kept behind their backs for magic casting purposes. So when you posed as Grin, you were hiding your full powers. I recall that you specialize in bare-handed close-range combat, but you're rather handy with a sword as well. I have experience with all weapons. I just never needed to use it before now. Oh no? Then let me strip you of your mistaken confidence. Hinata was leaving nothing on the table. That much was clear from how she used Moonlight, her sword. What I wondered about was Granville's blade. If he could use it to keep Hinata's at bay, it couldn't have been any normal weapon.
Understood. Unable to determine weapon class due to interference. It is believed to be classed at legend or higher.
A surprising appraisal. Raphael hadn't made any mistakes as of late, but here you go. Perhaps I underestimated Granville quite a bit.
That's right.
I doubted it.
His sword's better than you.
Ooh.
But was Hinata in, big trouble here? I mean, I didn't think she'd lose or anything, but I couldn't dismiss the possibility, and that unnerved me. Not even Raphael had a beat on his skill level. So Hinata and Granville's duel piqued my interest, but I had bigger fish to fry. Namely, the intense battle I was sensing from the direction of the cathedral. I honed the accuracy of my magic sense, turning my eyes toward the fray. There, I saw a man in a suit of dark armor. Amazingly, he was fighting against Shion and
No,
Diablo at the
phrase
same
with
at
Milim.
once. Ha 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 ha. Frey is the name of a character. Anyways, amazingly.
Thank you. I almost forgot.
Yeah,
And that's
amazingly
been
he
your
was fighting
VHS,
against...
your VH1 moment in history. Yeah.
There you go. Amazingly, he was fighting against Shion and Diablo at once, and not giving an inch of ground. I suppose he wouldn't. His magicule level was higher than both of them combined. Damn, you're kidding me. You were hiding someone with power beyond a demon lord's? Of course. When facing the demon lords or other monsters who threaten humankind, you can never have too many aces up your sleeve. Granville must have picked up on my muttering if he replied to it. He was in the middle of fighting Hinata, and still had the time to answer me. Wow. But hey, if he was open to chatting, we'd get some more info from him. We'd get some more info from him. And if it distracted him along the way, that was 2 birds with 1 stone. He had to outclass Roy, right? The Demon Lord stand-in? Maybe stronger than you? I worked a bit of a taunt into my question. His name is Razul, my friend for the past millennium. Glad he was nice enough to reply. Hinata was still silent. I suppose she understood my aims and chose not to interfere, so I continued. Your friend, huh? But Razul doesn't seem human to me. What of it? I wasn't sure how to respond to that. I just wanted to find out what he really was. Now I knew he wasn't human at least, and that was a step forward, but, well, nothing. I felt talked down a bit, which was annoying. He comes from a long-lived race, you see. My partner during my glory years. Given how he's got far more power than a paladin captain, I'm sure your underlings must feel overwhelmed right now. Granville was right. Shion and Diablo were having a hard time of it. I thought having Diablo around kept us safe, but maybe that was too optimistic. Hang on. Actually, here was something weird. It was like Diablo's having trouble focusing or something.
Report. Unusual rifts in space detected. It is a sign of someone using spatial transport to appear.
The warning from Raphael came all too suddenly. It almost never gave me alerts like that unless things were really serious, so I had to treat it as an emergency. No need to go easy any longer. Diablo must have been picking up on this anomaly, and it was keeping him from concentrating. Ranga, you there? Yes, master. Ah, good. He was usually curled up in my shadow these days. Back up Shion, but keep yourself concealed. Right away! At once, he used shadow motion to dive into Shion's shadow. When I saw he was ready, I gave out my next order. Diablo, is something bothering you? My pardon, Sir Rimuru. I know my difficulties in this battle are unforgivable, but the fact is that this adversary is more powerful than I anticipated. He is a highly evolved example of the uncommon insectoid race, and to demons, they are a kind of natural enemy. Diablo described insectoids as cross-dimensional magic beasts with elemental powers. They appeared now and then in this world, but it was extremely uncommon for them to evolve into humanoid creatures. I figured Diablo could still win against him, but he wasn't. Something far worse was troubling him. And now that this something was incoming, I wanted Diablo to address it first. Shion, you heard him. If Diablo's making excuses, it must be something really serious. The moment I said that, I could practically feel Diablo's discomfort from over here. He'd never resort to excuses like this usually, so I immediately knew he was hiding something. And if I wanted him to retain full freedom in this battle, I needed Shion's and Ranga's help. Shion, I just planted Ranga in your shadow. Both of you work together to defeat Razul, that insectoid. No need to order us. I will live up to your expectations, master. I will live up to your expectations, master. There we go.
There it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
Looks like Shion picked up on Diablo's difficulties as well. I'm sure she would have taken measures even without an order, but if she did, it would have been Shion alone against the mighty Razul, which would only be more dangerous. Not that I didn't trust her, but I wanted our plans to remain as safe as possible. Maybe setting 2 allies against him was a cowardly move, but in an actual battle like this, guaranteed victory was always your final goal. Diablo, go take care of whatever's bothering you. Also, try to trust and rely on your allies more. Very well, I suppose. Very well. I suppose I thought a little too much of myself today. Allow me to take care of this problem at once. Not just a little, I'd say, but at least he sounded a bit more like himself again. Right, everyone, begin! Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
Yes, my lord. Stormtroopers.
God damn it.
Stormtrooper. I wasn't used to
Doctor.
giving out orders like these, but all 3 gladly accepted them. Now I just had to hope for the best as I
know
brought my
what
full
he's
focus back
doing.
to neutralizing the other worlders. Sir Rimuru sees everything, I suppose. I would be a fool to think otherwise. Of course he does. Of course he does, Vice Secretary. Just go and deal with your problem already. You don't have to remind me. As I think you've noticed, Razul is more powerful than you. Are
If
you
you knew
sure
what
you'll be
his-
fine, Secretary?
If you knew what his little problem was, you'd shit yourself.
He really has to go to the bathroom.
No, that's
was
not what it is.
He has to pee.
He hasn't been able to all day.
The red is coming.
Is he?
And he's bringing his friends! And Diablo's like,
Yeah.
no, stop right there. You don't interfere with Master Reamer's plans. That's what's happening. He's sensing the red. And he's like,
Oh.
no, you don't get to,
It's like, stop. No,
not,
no.
not
Stop
your
it.
party.
Let Rimuru
Stop.
have his moment. You're staying. You're stop.
Not your party. You weren't invited.
As he's fighting.
Yeah, literally, not your party. You weren't invited. Like,
He's
God
Yeah.
like
damn it.
stopping them, having a fight. They get a little bit of it.
Stop!
No.
Stop! No! No!
Gotta fight a little bit. They get to move a little. Stop it. Stop it.
Stop! Stop it! Stop! It's so
Stop.
good. It's so good. It's so good because like he shows up to tell him to stop, and then the other 3 show up because man, I wanted to fight Red, and then Red's like, what the fuck?
Oh boy.
And that's what starts the beginning of the next volume. He just busts in and goes, God damn it, Reaver! Fucking,
What did you do?
what
Beautiful.
did you do?
I like yelling.
It's like,
It's gonna be great.
Red, this is not a good time.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
No one expects the demons.
It's like, but I wanted to do the thing.
Millum? No.
No, it's not Millum. It's not
I know, but
Millum.
it sounded like Millum for some reason.
Oh, yeah, they're crazy, like her. Yeah. By the way, here's the thing. If you watch the Scarlet Bonds movie, you've already met one of them.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, because literally Diablo fought one of the 3 in Scarlet Bonds. He fought Violet, which is going to eventually be one of the named ones.
Ultimate, right?
I think so, yeah.
Red comes up and like,
I
"You
remember we had
named
a bit of a
her!"
debate on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Yes.
remember that. We didn't know who was who
Yeah.
at the time.
All right, anyway, sorry, keep going.
I never thought you'd worry for me, Vice Secretary. Or Diablo, I should say. You're strong, I'll admit. Stronger than me, even. So go defeat that foe so Sir Rimuru has nothing to worry about. That's your
see,
job, isn't it?
Progress. She's actually calling him by his name.
There we go.
You called me by name. Just go. Leave this fight to me. I believe in you, Lady Shion. Not because Sir Rimuru ordered me to. The feeling is genuine. Just Shion is fine. It's weird, you showing me proper respect. There's no heart in it. Best of luck to you, Shion. You too, Diablo. In that short conversation, conducted without any eye contact, Shion and Diablo finally accepted each other. They both had overinflated senses of pride, perhaps, but deep down, both of them knew the extent of each other's power. Diablo walked off, not looking back as he gave orders to his staff. Venom, protect those children like your life depends on it, or sacrifice your life for it. Either way, just do it. Rimuru had given no orders for Diablo's own forces. He thus saw no need to consider their feelings. All that really mattered here, he coldly reasoned, were the children and the orchestra. Oh, All right. Wish he could have considered us a bit more, Venom thought. But he wasn't foolish enough to say it. If he did, Diablo would have ended his life before any foe could. Besides, well, looks like Lady Shion and Sir Ranga are handling the major threat. With all of us protecting this area, should be doable enough. It beats fighting Sir Diablo, at least. That summed up Venom's feelings on the subject. May victory be yours, Sir Diablo. Silence. I have no interest in your worrying over me. Diablo wasted no time coldly brushing off Venom's encouragement. There's the Diablo I know. Venom's memories of being forcibly pressed into service by him flashed through his mind. He banished them as quickly as he could. If Diablo ever saw him looking disgruntled, there was no telling how he'd react. As he mentally refocused on his mission, Diablo left the scene to his friends and strode off the battlefield. He teleported to his destination, reappearing in a spot removed from the cathedral and outside of Libelius itself, corner of a vast vegetation-free plain. Awaiting him was a beautiful blue-haired woman in a dark red maid outfit. Several paladins were on the ground at her feet. Even these guardians of humanity, each one boasting the power of 1,000, were helpless against her. Oh, nice to see you again, Noir. I was growing impatient with your lateness. Indeed. I could feel your murderous rage from miles away, but I had some business I couldn't extract myself from. But I'd really prefer if you called me Diablo, Blue, or I suppose you had a name too, didn't you, Rain? Rain, the blue-haired beauty, gave this response to a satisfied smile. That's right. The name Rain was granted to me by Rouge, the original Red. The great Sir Guy himself, strongest of the primal demons. It's not at all like being named by some mud of a demon lord like you were. Huh? Are you looking to die? Or maybe you want to be detached from this world entirely. I'll be happy to oblige. Diablo's smile remained, but his gold eyes were no longer friendly. The red pupils within them narrowed as he eyed his prey.
Oop.
Let us battle, Diablo. I cannot wait for this. Ever since I detected you fighting Blanc over to the east, I've always wanted a chance at you. Ridiculous. If you think this will be any fight at all, you are sorely mistaken. Well, why don't we begin and find out? With that signal, Rain made good her question and went on the move, dropping a chop with her hand that moved beyond the speed of sound. A casual wave of Diablo's arm deflected it. It delighted Rain. The wish she kindled for many long years was finally happening. Yes, this is it. I can't have this end that quickly. We are both primal, and yet you enjoy all of this freedom. No building your own factions, no undertaking someone else's mission. All demons want nothing more than a physical body, and you laughed that off. It was fair to say that Rain was jealous of Diablo. For someone like her, who followed the rules by the book, his behavior was inexcusable. He fought Sir Guy to a draw, as loath as I am to admit it. And here he is now, blithely wandering around, no desire for more strength. As a demon, he needs to gain a body right away. He needs to strive
The
for
right
what
way.
lies
The
beyond
right
his
way.
evolution. Body the right way. He needs to strive for what lies beyond his evolution. All of Rain's power was being thrown Diablo's way. After stewing over these emotions for years, she was now acting on them.
What is he freaking saying?
May as well be.
It's like, why do you not
Diablo.
strive for more, Goku? Or Kakarot.
Diablo, Noir the original Black, was a unique demon. Long, long ago, he and Rouge fought to be crowned the strongest of their kind. The match, while ending in a tie, wound up sealing both of their respective fates. Rouge manifested in the physical world, gaining untold powers, but Noir refused to change, turning down his chance at evolution. The cases of Blanc, Jaune, and Violet could be understood. Those three colors were all meddling with one another, preventing any evolution, creating a sort of balanced rivalry that remained to this day. Hold on. Pardon. But Noir, despite having no such restriction, simply remained his natural self and enjoyed life. As if he thought the other 6 shades were all fools. That is how things had been for tens of thousands of years. And it was exactly why Rain could never forgive Diablo. He was so selfish, going wherever his whims took him, living in perfect freedom, and Guy, the strongest of all, recognized him as an equal. You're right. All this dodging can hardly count as a battle. You always were good at evading things, if nothing else. I told you, don't get the wrong idea. I simply have no need to tap my full force against the likes of you. Also, I should note that I have zero intention of avoiding you. Making apologies already? I'm sure you're still too new in your body to tap its full potential, but don't expect me to accept your pathetic excuses. Rain fired a bolt of magic from her fist. Exposed to the laws of nature, it transformed into a nuclear cannon blast. One Rain called for with no casting time. But Diablo, naturally, had expected this, not demonstrating a moment of concern as he cast dispulsion magic to make the nuclear blast vanish. This is what battle between high-level demons is about. Breaking through one another's layers of magical barriers and counterattack spells to land a lethal blow on your enemy. Neither side had any need for time-consuming spellcasting as they threw supercharged blasts of magic at each other. And as more and more time passed, I can't believe it! You were drawing this while you were fighting? That's right, Rain. To me, fighting you was merely busy work. One can hardly call... No, yeah, that is it. One can hardly call it an engaging game if you can already see the ending. Rain was in shock. The outcome was already set in stone. Surrounding Rain was a layered circle, alive and glowing with magical runes. It had appeared in the air just now at Diablo's signal, and now that she was in it, Rain could no longer move. Whenever she tried to, even a little, Diablo could summon any magic she wanted. Yeah, any magic she wanted against her. It does say she.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, no, I see that too.
Typo.
That's
whatever. It was called a multi-layered disintegration? The antithesis to all demons. A magic dangerous enough to crush us all. Why do you... Diablo looked coldly down upon her, a slight sense of pity in his otherwise frozen mind. As if he couldn't understand why she wouldn't know. Ridiculous. As long as my faith in my master is deep enough, I can even hold sway over spiritual particles. Common sense, don't you see? Are you insane? How could that ever be common sense? But let me extend you the courtesy of ending this. You have insulted my wondrous master, Sir Rimuru, and soon you will burn with regret. 7 rays of light were released. Even one of these deadly arrows held the power of absolute destruction, and now they came crashing down upon Rain.
I'm sure she'd be okay.
that's fine.
I told you Red was gonna have to get involved.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because look, if he doesn't, look what's gonna happen.
Yeah, bitch is gonna die.
Yeah.
Lasers.
I'm a firing my laser.
laser!
Wah.
Ah!
You don't understand, Rimuru.
Except
it's
it's
just
7
pure
of them.
energy. Just pure energy.
All right.
From the bottom of her heart, Luminous was irritated. Right here, in the midst of the concert, she invited the demon lord Rimuru to stage. She had allowed Granville to arrange an all-out rebellion. Such a dreadful error was unheard of in the history of her nation. She was taken by an urge to run to the cathedral and massacre everyone inside herself. But her sense of reason and her instincts restrained her. She realized that, as public of an attack as this was, it was undoubtedly a diversion. Lewis and Gunther, stationed by Luminous's side, stayed silent, not willing to set her off. They said nothing. Like Luminous, they were greatly disturbed, but not stupid enough to prioritize the wrong thing here. If Granville's blitz was a diversion, what purpose was there to it? I'm sure he knows my cherished arc. About my cherished arc. That means there's a non-zero chance he's thinking about releasing the girl inside. The Ark was the greatest of Luminous's secret treasures, but she had an even bigger reason to keep it absolutely safe. And she knew Granville was aware of that reason. This is why it was hard to imagine him gunning for the Ark, but still, she trusted her instincts, and she was correct to do so. Here she was, inside her innermost chamber, a burial room, one nobody was supposed to know about. It was currently playing host to an uninvited guest. Well now, guess our little home invasion got spotted, eh? Oh, were you just beefing up the security around... Oh, wait. Or were you just beefing up the security around here? Ho ho ho, a pity. But there's a bit of prey we can have some fun with. Think it's all right for us to raise a little hell? Fine by me. But you better be careful. That little beauty over there is a menace, through and through. You're the Demon Lord Luminous, ain't you? The two home invaders, Laplace and Footman. Okay,
Yep.
damn it. I was trying to think one of them was Tyr, but
That's
I
okay.
forgot Tyr had a completely different role. Anyways, Laplace and Footman stepped in, acting less than polite to their host. Luminous watched them as she elegantly relaxed on a couch in front of the Ark she absolutely had to protect. To her, this pair didn't even remotely seem like a challenge, but something about the atmosphere kept her on close guard. Luminous took care to conceal her rage as she spoke. I will ignore your attitudes for the moment. State your names. Laplace was the first to react. He was a bit surprised that someone expected their break-in, but Granville had mentioned the possibility. To address it, he had provided them with a guide, someone to help them traverse the multiple defense lines blocking access to the chamber. It is an honor to meet you. I am Laplace, the Wonder Jester, and Vice President of the Moderate Jesters, a kind of handyman outfit. Know what I mean? And this here's Footman. He deliberately took a less than serious approach to the greeting as he mentioned toward Footman. Ho ho ho! I am Footman, the Angry Jester. Glad to meet you, although I don't think we'll be staying long. Footman, to his credit, was standing strong against this demon lord. His mind worked on simple terms. If there's an enemy, he'd crush it. Now he was just waiting for Laplace's signal to begin. That, and we've got one more person here. Come on in! Another figure emerged through the door. A blonde-haired beauty. Or no. Whatever. She's not too talkative, mind you. I think her name was... No, I remember her. Yes, Maria Rosso. The woman Granville loved? Yeah, Maria. That's the name. Oh, wait, that was... that was Luminous. Okay, hold on.
Whoops.
No, I remember her. Yes. Maria Rosso, the woman Granville loved. Yeah, Maria. That's the name. Wow, Lady Luminous, you two knew each other. That's a beautiful picture.
Yep.
Luminous winced. I'm not your friend, you know. We are done greeting each other, and thus there's nothing left to discuss. Going forward, we will discuss matters not with words, but with fists. Her patience was reaching its limit. She had detected the person hiding and decided to put up with it. But with Maria now introduced, she could endure this no longer. Yeesh! No need to be so hasty. And yeah, we all know one another now. But I got a message from Granville too. Oh. Right. So listen to this. I await you up above. Let us settle this, Demon Lord Luminous. Come soon, or else those you hold dear will die. So there you go. And I think that monster ought to be in combat with the Paladin Captain Hinata by now. So who knows how that's gonna turn out? Laplace was interrupted by a strike from the lunging Lewis. Lewis? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Luminous had lowered her hand, her signal to commence the attack. It's you, isn't it? The man who killed my brother? Can't you at least let me finish? Oh, well, I'll spot you an answer to that one. Yes, I killed your body double, Roy, sure enough. I have no interest in petty revenge, but since you're here, perhaps I can prove to you that I am far more talented than he was. With that, Lewis began stalking his prey. So I'm fighting you, then? Better not bore me, man. I'd ask the same of you. Gunther and Footman eyed each other, and in the next moment, they flew out of the burial chamber. They had their own battle to fight, and collateral damage wasn't remotely a concern to them. Lewis and Gunther can be so Lewis and Gunther can be so annoying. They're normally so calm and composed, but when the time comes to battle, they simply cannot hold back their thirst for blood. But I suppose the same can be said of me. Granville, just you wait. Even with your stout ally, you'll find it impossible to stop me. Luminous, too, had her eyes sharpened upon Maria, the fleeting silent figure. A corpse. It couldn't be, she continued, almost whispering to herself. I see Granville still hasn't given up. Maria is dead. Even with resurrection, the miracle of my God, nothing can be done for a soul already lost. And now look. The figure before her wasn't Maria at all. It was something in the shape of her. But very well. Allow me to perform your last rites. Her aura blazing around her, Luminous stood up, and with that, she and Maria began fighting at a level beyond what a normal person could even observe. Would the winner be Luminous, or this thing taking the shape of Maria? And then, the Ark was left behind in the chamber. Everyone had left the room, not wanting to damage it. Pardon. And as if waiting for that exact moment, a lone boy appeared in the darkness. I didn't think it'd go this much to plan. Granville was absolutely right. It was Yuki laughing. Oh, yeah, whatever. Never accepting Granville's information at face value, he had remained in the shadows as he followed the intruders in. He had successfully shrouded his presence to all, even deceiving Luminous. He usually kept himself at least a little bit detectable, so he'd be ready if things ever went south. A lot of people could detect his presence that way, and once those adversaries presumed they had the upper hand, that made it easy to put them off their guard. Yuki was always pursuing that strategy. His accumulated experiences were paying off in vital situations, including this very one, and now they let him obtain what he wanted with practically no work at all. So this is the Ark? He reached out, touching that beautiful coffin of ice. Whoa. So that's what makes it a holy coffin. Matter made out of pure spiritual particles. I didn't know you could do that. Now he was glad he came. He wasn't sure anyone besides him could even lay a hand on this thing. Even a magic burning coffin couldn't affect anti-skill, and that made it perfectly possible for Yuki to make off with this Ark.
Really shouldn't have touched that.
Yeah. Then, without another moment of hesitation, he smashed it open. The hidden treasures Luminous worked so hard to protect shattered all too easily. Slumbering inside it was a beautiful young woman. The hero everyone was after, no doubt. Oh, there's a seal on this girl's body as well. Not that it'll work on me, but I can deactivate it later, I guess. Yuki chuckled. They certainly tried to be careful. A barrier more powerful than the Ark itself covered the girl's skin from head to toe. He could take his time removing it once he was back to safety. As he made this decision, Yuki's eyes turned towards the girl's face. Who is this girl, anyway? She seems vaguely familiar, but... Nah, it can't be that. Is it Chloe?
Yes.
Ah! She looked to be around
Magic.
16, and while her long, dark silver hair hid her privates... Oh, she didn't have a stitch of clothing on her. Damn. I guess this is technically assault or something like that, but not much I can do there. With that whisper, Yuki hefted the girl's body up. Well, I've got my hero, now to flee the scene. With one more sly grin, Yuki quickly left the chamber. Why is there a hero sleeping in an Ark anyway? Is she really the ultimate weapon Granville called her? And what does Granville even want?
Yeah, somebody who's not from this world and is way too stupid to know anything about this world and is so obsessed with trying to control this world but knows nothing about it probably should, like, fucking study up before they try to take
Just
it
a little
over.
bit. Just a little bit.
I think I hear the motorcycle
that's
guy.
too difficult.
There's
also-
way too much time to be spent that he could be spent
The
taking over
only
the world.
reason Rimuru is doing so well is because of fucking Raphael.
Yeah. Yuki
Raphael
doesn't
can
have
tell him everything.
I'm also kind of surprised about like the lack of security in the room itself. I don't know. I guess it's just me,
well,
but
they bypassed all of it.
Actually, they bypassed a crap ton of security.
okay. So the book just made it seem like there wasn't a whole lot. It
No.
just implied
There
that they went
was
through a lot.
no. There
Okay.
was a shit ton of security that Granville helped them bypass.
Okay,
Normally,
gotcha.
you
That's
should
what it
It
was.
just got
not be able to
trivialized
get
here.
Like,
And then
the
also, it really sounds like anti-skill is just kind of busted.
anti-skill is
Yeah, that's
fucking
true.
broken.
Yeah.
Also, let's just also put it to bed here. Rimuru doesn't actually want to take over the world. He's reluctantly put in charge of everything. He doesn't
Yeah.
actually want to.
He just
Very
wants a
idle
good
kind of
city, if anything.
Why are you worshiping me as a god? But you are a god. Okay.
I'm a demon lord
Here's
at
the thing.
best,
Here's the thing.
okay?
The people who don't want to lead are usually the people who should.
Yeah. Or who would be
Anyway.
good at it.
Yeah.
Yuki was a skeptical young man by nature, but given his rash opinion of his almost excessive talents, he often figured things would work out in the end. That was what his pride did for him, and thus, despite his doubts, he signed on for Granville's operation. But at this point in time, he had no idea what kind of situation his actions were about to cause. The otherworlders lurched upon me like zombies. Carefully, I neutralized them one by one. What?
Yeah, you're gonna have to stop.
Ah!
Yeah, it's 9:30. That means you've
Okay.
reached your 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yep. It's your turn, Sonic.
All right, 1 second. Getting on my phone here. So it's easier to read. Making sure we're on the right thing. I mean, I have them on my computer, but I figured this is just easier.
Computer.
My computer.
Spider, who is Rixie?
How do I do the?
Right.
Yeah, there
Rick CD's sorry.
we go.
No.
Oh! Hi, Edgar!
Hi.
Here we go.
Yeah. The only one who gets like a maximum amount of time is Shim. Everybody else gets
Yeah,
like 30
my bad.
minutes or
Sorry.
everybody else
Yeah.
gets like 30 minutes or like
It's actually funnier when Shim reads,
15.
though.
It's funny.
To be fair,
Thanks.
the reason he gets a large amount of time is because we tend to interrupt him for about 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah,
It's fair.
somehow.
Yeah.
It's okay. I just like reading.
Yeah.
So
Also because out of everybody, he's the one that reads the fastest.
The best.
He like tears through everything the quickest. Like
Yeah.
Quickest.
he gets through the largest chunk of like material.
thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sonic, your turn.
The other worlders lurched upon me like zombies. Carefully, I neutralized them one by one, making sure not to kill any. With my powers, not even 100 of these at once would give me a challenge. But undoing the locking curse on them all was a pain. Still, I couldn't help but wonder about these otherworlders. I focused my mind upon them for a bit, and yes, they definitely packed a lot of magicules. They had real physical skill, too. Some of them even could manage a rank. But for some reason, they didn't seem particularly strong to me. I thought that it was just a difference in the talent at first. But something told me that wasn't the whole story. I was sure Granville's robbing their freedom was one other reason, but there was something else?
Understood. In this battle, no adversary has used any unique skill so far.
Aha! That was it. And it made sense to me. None of these guys were using any kind of special attack, and that made neutralizing them pretty straightforward work. But would a group of otherworlders this big really have no uniques at all? Or were they going easy on me? Either way, it was kind of creepy. No matter, of course, no matter what Granville was planning, I just beat him, and we'd be done with it. That was the plan I had in mind as I turned my attention towards the last one of them. She still looked like a young girl to me, maybe a bit past 10. Her power would have barely have stabilized by that age. Like the others, she was intensely powerful, but that was it. With a now practiced hand, I undid the lock on her. No problems there. She was conscious again and looking thoroughly confused, but there was no time to explain matters. Putting her to sleep for the time being, I laid her down where I had placed the others. There were a few kids like her in the group, which made things seriously difficult for me. Granville didn't seem to care much about how he looked into the midst of this. But regardless, I managed to take care of them all. I'm assuming he's just looking to buy some time. If I wanted it, I could have been quicker and easier just to kill them all along those lines. I guess it's mission accomplished for him. Still, the other worlders attacking me were now neutralized. I don't know what he wanted to do with the time he earned, but once I ended this battle, it didn't matter anyway. I glanced across the battlefield to see how things were going. The children were safe, which was a relief. Meanwhile, despite it all, Baton and his orchestra were still starting to practice their music. They had nerves of steel, I guess, or something of steel, I suppose. Focusing on something is a good way to calm your anxieties. Though, maybe it wasn't that crazy after all.
Are you having trouble?
Hmm?
Are you having trouble with reading this on your phone? Because you're pausing in odd places, and based
I
I
on
thought it was
where
because
you're-
of his
sorry.
connection.
Oh no, he's pausing in odd places, and it's
Oh,
changing
okay.
up the flow. It's changing up the flow of
Maybe
the-
when I hit commas, I'm like,
No,
I'm not really hearing it.
no, I'm definitely hearing it. It's changing up the nature of how the sentence sounds versus how it should sound. So the children are safe, which was a relief. You don't have to take such a pause every time there's a comma. The children were safe, which was a relief. Meanwhile, despite it all, Baton and his orchestra were still starting to practice their music. They had nerves of steel, I guess, or something of steel. I suppose focusing on something is a good way to calm your anxieties, though, so maybe it wasn't that crazy after all. Again, Rebrew has kind of a way of thinking that's very kind of light in tone. So
Hmm.
it's light, it's airy, it's kind of,
It's
he's
very
Sort
casual.
of
He's
flows.
very
He's like,
casual.
I don't care.
It's
Mhm.
all right. Again, he's a slime, so it's kind
Yeah.
of light and bouncy.
Mhm.
That's kind of the rhythm you have to think about when you think about Rebrew. It's light and bouncy. That's kind of
It's like,
the rhythm of his
yeah,
thought
yeah.
process. It's like,
Yeah.
it's
Everything's fine.
Everything's just
Yeah.
everything's just
Ho
kind of
hum.
relaxing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it does have its moments where it's like, all right, everything's intense. Everything around him may be intense, but he's still kind of like,
It's
yeah,
fine.
Yeah. So his thought process is kind of easy breezy.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Cover girl.
God damn, I knew somebody was
I was
going
gonna say like the theme song of Isaacin. I like that.
You don't
show.
even
It's
have
cool.
to spin; it already rotates.
Oh, hang on.
All right.
I'll remember that come Awa.
Oh yeah. I still have only put in application for one panel so far, so I need to do more.
Dang it, man. Yeah.
No, you're welcome.
Because like the 4 panels we did were great. I don't.
Oh, we did more than 4.
Did
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it'd be all right. I would
Were
just
you
say
drunk for one of them?
Oh, he was drunk. For
I
more
was
than
drunk
one.
for most of them.
Yeah.
Okay, that explains it.
Let's be
There
real
you go.
here. I was drunk for most of them.
Voiceover.
There you go.
Mhm.
Slime. Abridging
Yeah.
101.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
far, you with me so far?
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember Abridging
Mhm.
101, yeah.
Okay. Dude, we had like, okay, so we didn't have any on Saturday, but we had 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, and we had like 1 on Sunday. So we had 5 panels.
Okay.
And several of those were at least an hour and a
I
half.
kind of figured it'd be
apiece.
like one more at least.
Yeah. He was drunk Jesus at one point.
To be fair, I was I was only drunk Jesus for one day, but it was a damn good day.
But he was pretty much.
He was drunk.
He was drunk moon for
Oh, I
most
was very
of them.
drunk.
He was drunk
Oh,
moon
yeah.
for most of them. Yeah.
Like the
He was
first one
sober-
and the
he
last
was
one
sober
were
for
the
the-
ones I was sober for.
Yeah, he was sober for the first one and the last one, and that's it.
Yes.
The moon
The other 2
always
days,
swayed
no,
like that.
I had some sort
There's
of alcohol in my system.
somewhere in between. Like I think that third one, he probably just completely blacked out on.
Here's the thing. I am going to require
Never blacked
now
out.
that we've seen
Memory-wise.
this version of you, I am going to require that you at least be sober for the panels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fair.
And you,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
drink plenty of
definitely
water.
need
To be fair, it wasn't the best idea to go to a bar in between panels.
before
You
panels.
pre-game before your panels.
Do not pre-game. Before.
Well, yeah.
We have learned our lesson.
Oh.
Do not let you get
Yeah.
shit-faced before a panel.
Yeah, it's bad. It don't work out great.
No.
He's
no,
drunk.
okay,
Jesus,
okay.
go
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
take him to the
hold on.
hotel.
No. Okay. Edgar is right. Depends on the panel. If we're doing,
He really did.
If we are doing the 18+ panel, where sobriety is
then
not
Full
required.
blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
If
he
we're
was drunk
doing,
for non-18 plus?
Yeah. Oh no, dude,
yeah.
we didn't do any 18+ panels.
Unfortunately.
He got
Is that like a
shit-faced.
special
He got
panel?
shit-faced for the fucking slime panel.
Moan. Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
man.
He was
To be fair,
He was shit-faced
the
at the slime
reading?
panel. He was shit-faced at the slime panel. And he was shit-faced and you were shit-faced at the Abridging 101 panel.
no, there was one of those that I wasn't shit-faced for.
The dubbing, if we were doing dubbing after dark, which is literally us having the audience come up and dub hentai manga, 100% be shit-faced.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Yes, please.
That was like the
That's-
one
that
you
sounds
wasn't.
Like, literally have him be dubbing
Logic.
hentai manga. Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Give
pre-game.
me the ugly bastard.
Bad.
That's
Bad
the
move,
worst
bad.
tag, I swear.
God damn it. Hi, Revan.
So, okay. I know I was shit-faced for the one where we watched the
Slime.
whatever
You
it
were-
was.
You were shit-faced for slime. Absolutely.
Yeah. And also the one where we watched
Log
Log
Horizon?
Horizon, that episode of Log Horizon.
That was the Abridging 101.
Okay.
That was Abridging 101.
But I know I wasn't shit-faced for reading the
that was
scripts
Sunday.
where we had people read the scripts.
Yeah. That was Thursdays. That was the voice acting. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Sundays.
then the other one that day, yeah.
Yeah. The later that day was. No, that was the Log Horizon one.
No, not on Thursday.
Not on Thursday. We had, I forget what it was that we did on Thursday. It wasn't Log Horizon. It was something else.
Fan Thursday.
I don't remember what we did on Thursday.
I don't either.
There's a thing for Thursdays?
We did do a thing on Thursday at the
for
con.
the con.
Yeah, for the con.
Hmm.
We did we had another panel. It was like some basic abridging shit. We did like the fan panel or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we did like a fan panel or something.
I don't even remember what it was I said, but you were just
The
immediately
one
like, all
that
right, no,
wasn't
you're
even
going to sit in the corner
the
now.
one
And I
that
was like,
wasn't
okay.
on the schedule. The one that wasn't on the schedule was the voiceover panel at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Because that was, but then we had another one later that day, and that was like a general like kind of abridging panel, and we
Mhm.
talked like some basic abridging stuff, and then we had like a basic Log Horizon panel later. Because we had two panels on Friday
Mhm.
that were kind of late. The one where you went through the voice. Yeah, well, that was Thursday, like our voiceover panel on Thursday. I'd have to
Yeah.
go back over everything. I can't right now. It would take too long.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. Anyway, the thing was just kind of the flow is a little looser.
Floaty.
with-
Be a
floaty.
slime.
Be a slime. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Be the slime. I gotta meditate and like
Get-
be the
Wiggle,
slime.
wiggle, wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
If it helps, you could also watch the bridge series again just to kind of get a feel for the.
I kind
God.
of, you know, you say that, I'm like, I was kind of thinking, like, should I try more of, like, hear the dub voice?
Oh, God.
That's
something.
basically how I read the lines.
Yeah.
You just kind
Yeah,
of go.
that's
"Oh,
kinda
I
what
was
I
just
was
thinking,
like,
because I was just reading it, like, flat reading it. Maybe I should just think
Don't
about it in the
flat read
voice.
it. Don't flat read it. No.
Yeah.
No.
The point is not to read. The point is to act. You're a voice actor. Act.
Yeah.
I gotta do it.
Any asshole can read. Just fucking act.
Mhm.
Yes. I like this. I like this
Yes.
idea. Let's do that.
Wait,
Yes.
what? Hold on,
Yes,
I missed
queen.
something there.
No, don't. You'll have
Okay,
to
it's
s-
a chat
That's
thing.
your
It's
own
a chat
panel.
thing.
That's your
Chat
own
thing.
panel you have to submit. We're not responsible for that.
That man does not speak for us.
Yeah, does not. All right, moving on.
Hinata, meanwhile, was fighting on an even keel with Granville. I had to hand it to her. It was literally a supersonic contest. Hey, advance back and forth where no one could afford a single mistake. If I stepped in without a plan, I could destroy the balance and inadvertently turn the tide of the battle. How's that? That a little better?
That's a bit better.
Yeah.
I have an idea for a panel. I have
Oh.
an idea for a panel. We get to eat that delicious succulent meat again, but we have to do it every time we chew a piece. We have to do it in a different voice.
Yes, I love that.
How do you chew in a
Get some
different
Fogo
voice?
to Chow to go.
We have to get some Foga de Chow to go of that.
Okay.
Fucking
As for how to
Oh,
chew
it's
in a
easy.
different voice, it's like, oh yeah, this is great. Oh, I
Like,
love this.
you have to
Another bite.
Oh,
You
so
have
you're
to-
talking but doing the
I'm
voice.
I'm
it's
really
a
enjoying
fucking
this.
different voice. It's like
Oh
it's,
fuck yeah.
it's like how many different voices can you fucking orgasm to while chewing that
I'm not
meat?
sure about this. I don't know
Oh,
about
let
this.
the meat
Well,
slide.
We
down
have
your
to make it an
throat.
after dark panel then. We'd have
Oh,
to make
God,
it an after
it's
dark
like-
panel.
Oh man, this meat! I love the meat.
I
love the
Exactly.
tasty.
It's
Oh,
succulent meat.
I was like,
I love
Edgar.
it so
Oh,
much.
Edgar, I love the taste of your meat in my mouth.
I love it.
Really, I love this.
Assholes can't,
Juices are just really there.
assholes can't read. Eyes can't.
This is simply divine.
Whoever is responsible for purchasing each cut of meat, they're the one that we have to sit there and praise. So it's like, I love the taste
just
of
sit there
like,
blah blah's meat.
Oh,
in
sugar
my mouth.
daddy, I love you
Oh.
so much
Yeah,
for
yeah,
this.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Gotta do a
So you're
piccolo.
saying is I
I'm
should
curious
get
about
3
piccolo
Wagyu?
eating.
Yes.
Yes. Pamper a
God.
steak daddy.
Okay.
And then we're
then-
all three of us have our own steak, and we're just like, ugh,
Okay, to be fair,
daddy.
part of me would be focused on just eating the food.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking
I
love
mean,
steak.
to be
I just
fair,
I
love
think
it.
to
that's
be
the
fair,
entire
to
point
be
of
fair,
it.
to be fair,
I know, but it's
we're
just like it'd be like I just want to eat it.
to be fair.
Yeah, I think at
we're
some
just-
point it's
we're
like, yeah,
looking
come on,
for
can I just eat,
reasons.
man?
We're looking for reasons to get pampered. Yes,
exactly.
and turn it into a
Free
All
fucking
of us
pampering.
come in, we get little bibs and everything, and we're just like, give us food. Put down the
I'm
white
hungry.
glasses.
I'm
White claw, eat
Can't
it.
turn down any
hungry.
reason to get free meat in my mouth.
Hey! Someone clip that. We need to clip that and
fair.
get the quote for future reference to always torment him with.
Please,
Always
this whole
please,
thing
please.
I do that to myself. Thank
Excuse
you.
me. How do you know I'm not gonna take that and find a way to get that flap to soe?
You just have to
that'd be
adjust the
perfect.
pitch on it a little bit
All
so
right,
it sounds
all
more
right.
like
You
it.
know me,
Sorry,
sir.
We
And
gotta
tonight-
let him go. We gotta let him go.
Yeah,
We have
give me at least
interrupted
some-
Sonic
some
so,
Yeah,
lines.
sorry.
so
Sorry.
much.
Go ahead.
man.
Give me
Yeah.
some time with this at least.
Do
All
a
right.
Food Wars panel? Oh my god, that's
Hell
literally
yeah,
what it is.
that would be great.
Slime
That is
abridged,
exactly what it is.
slime abridged Food Wars, and then slowly by the end of it, it's just like wigs disheveled, clothes everywhere.
Wigs.
We'll call
We're
it.
just eating,
Props
and we're all just
broken.
like, was it as good for you guys as it was for us?
It was fantastic. Like,
You said I was
Clothes torn,
beautiful.
spirits broken, minds
I
whole.
don't.
God.
I
like
know
by
what we
the
would
end of
call
it,
it.
by
then.
the end of it, it's
Or
like
that.
everybody has to. It's like by the end of it, like we're just handing out bathing suits. By the end of it, everybody's walking out with like we're just passing out wigs. Like everybody has to walk out in like bathing suits and just disheveled wigs, and people are just like, "What the hell went on
expensive.
here?" It's like Food Wars.
No, I know what we would do. Because it's slime going into
What
Food
happened?
Wars, we just
Squid
call it
Games.
Slime Wars.
Slime Wars is like
Yeah.
you
Slime
enter
Wars.
you enter for the slime, you leave for the wars.
For the
Mhm.
Food Wars.
Food
But we don't call it
Wars.
food, we just say it's a war. Because
It's
it's
just a
funny.
But I
war.
love what he put. You tell the audience the way we get the foodgasm sound is by eating this $500 slab of thick, hot meat.
Mm.
All right, so here's what's actually happening.
do the
Here's what's actually happening. You know what the sad fact is? We could not get away with that. The hotel would not let us do this.
Oh, I'm
They
sure.
would never let you
Without
back
them joining in.
No, the hotel. No, the hotel. Like AWA would get in so much trouble for that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the AWA would get in so much trouble for that. A
Oh,
few
wow.
dead
Would
men
be
and
like-
a smiling Shion cosplayer.
One of them's doing the Yamcha pose.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think we would probably get in trouble for bringing food in and trying to do a big food thing for our panel. Yeah, if we made like
How do you
a
make
food
the
thing
clothes
for
We
our
made a
panel.
mess,
explode,
but-
though?
No,
Yeah.
like
That's
no,
my
straight
question.
up, no. If we made food the theme of our panel, we would get in a lot of trouble.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to take food in any of those booths, right? Or in those panels.
No,
Yeah,
No.
outside or otherwise.
You're,
That
well,
and
no,
attempt-
no. You are allowed to bring food in to eat in for your personal use. You're not allowed to like
Oh.
do it as a thing for your panel.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I don't think
That
so.
and I don't think they'd be. I don't know.
I guess it's a
One, how
health
we
concern.
there are two things with Food Wars. One, how we would be able to make it that clothes would explode when you ate, and two,
Yo,
I don't
can
think
I
they'd
cosplay
appreciate
as Shion?
them being naked.
I mean,
Bruh.
Oh man.
If you can
I'd let
figure out
you.
If
the
you can pull it
titties,
off.
if you can figure
I'd let
out,
you.
Yeah,
if
no, you
can
got to be able to
it out,
figure
bruh.
everything out. You got to make it work.
It'd be
You got to
easy,
make it
dude.
work
Just
good.
gotta-
That's so sad. That's so sad. I will get them tits. Oh my
Oh
god.
boy.
Oh, bro.
I mean, they do make those like fake boob things
Next
that
thing
you
you
can put
know,
underneath
next
your
D&D
shirt.
session, we're just gonna be sitting there like, Edgar, why the hell did you get plastic surgery?
no, you can buy.
I did it for
you
the
can
pig.
literally, you can
No, that's
literally
fine, that's
buy
fine.
fake titties online, bro.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm like, that's fine. Don't worry, Moon. Don't worry about it.
Anyway,
It's fine.
just
Yep.
let Sonic
It's fine.
read. Let Sonic
Yeah.
read.
Oh.
Let me get some
That's
words
nuts.
in this.
Words.
Words.
Horse.
Words.
Actually, a perfect sentence to end this on.
Oh god.
Save that for later.
Yeah.
Mm.
Save that for later.
Speaking of Shion, she and Ranga were being pushed back by Razel. It looked like they were
Razel.
Razel?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Azul.
Razzle.
Razel.
Mhm.
Razzle dazzle.
Razzle that. Rabba-dabba, razzle dazzle. Dabba next day.
Give him the old razzle
Fucking
dazzle.
duck song. Sorry.
Shion, Ranga, give him the old razzle dazzle. And they look at him like, what the fuck? Okay.
Sarah and Duck.
It's like they actually have like, oh, he means this strategy, and Rimuro's like, all right, sure, whatever
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was.
Whatever.
It won.
Yes.
Anyway. Shmish,
Yeah. But it didn't look like they were that badly outclassed. Shion was taking Razzle? Razzle, yep, Razzle.
Yeah, Razzle.
I'm second guessing myself, and I'm like, dang it, no, I don't
Razzle
know.
dazzle.
Mhm.
Was taking Razzle Dazzle's attacks, but as she did, she was swiftly healing herself each time. Ultra speed regeneration really was like cheating. It was easy. Sorry, I had something in my throat there. It was easy enough to make up the difference like this one. Ranga, meanwhile, was concentrating on offensive, diving into Shion's shadow and sniping away when he found a blind spot. Throwing in magic like Death Calling, Wind, and Dark Lightning, I was impressed with his nimble performance. The only problem was that none of it worked on Razzle. I mean, Razzle is just insane! I recalled that if he was I recalled that if he's an insectoid, that put him in the same family as Apito?
Apito.
Apito.
Zeon. Apito and Zeon. I don't think I've actually seen that
Zegion.
word. Zegion. I think it's
We've talked about them before. They're part of the Dungeon Masters.
Yeah.
Like people.
right. Apito is the
She's the queen bee.
Zegion. Oh, right.
Zegion is in hibernation right now. You're gonna meet him later. He is going to be one of the
Strong.
scary motherfuckers.
He's a scary boy.
Yeah.
Scary,
Yeah.
scary bee. I don't know.
Very scary boy. Meat.
Their segmented eyes meant that they had no blind spots, making it easy for him to dodge Ranga's surprise attacks. And besides, most regular attacks didn't faze him at all. What I thought was black armor was actually an exoskeleton harder than steel. He could simply lift up his left arm and stop Shion's large sword in its tracks. Unless you aim for his joints, you likely had no chance of damaging him. Even worse, judging by the way Ranga's magic bounced off him, his surface must have had magic interference style effect applied. No wonder he gave Diablo trouble. Magic was Diablo's main thing, so I could see why he wasn't the greatest matchup for Razel. Although I think he just still managed to win. Given his edge against both physical and magic attacks, Razel was a serious threat. And someone this amazing was just meekly serving Granville. Sorry, thank you. With no ambition of his own? Well, as much as a challenge as he posed to Shion and Ranga, I figured I could handle him. So I was just about to head over there, and then I steeled myself as I turned towards the cathedral. I wasn't alone. Hinata, Shion, and the others did the same, looking nervous. I think we were all justified. After all, the Demon Lord Leon, a guy who should never have been here, was standing in front of it. He wore a white robe, a nice-looking knightly suit of golden armor underneath. Handsome as always, just to be sure, but he looked very peeved at the moment. And he wasn't alone. Several knights were stationed behind him, and by the look of it, they were handpicked from his top officers, or officials. What's he doing here? Is he friend or foe? I found it hard to picture him as an ally, but I really hoped he wouldn't decide to fight us. So you're here, Demon Lord Leon. And Hinata, you must be finding this terribly boring if you're turning away from our battle. Oh, Granville, sorry.
Yeah,
with how short it is, it's like I can't.
You're here?
You're
Demon Lord
You're
Leon.
here, Granville. Okay. I'm not gonna do that voice, no. Okay, I'll do that one. You're here. You're here, Demon Lord Leon. And Hinata, you must be finding this terribly boring if you're turning away from our battle. Granville sounded more like the bored one. He seemed totally unfazed, standing composed and not trying to sneak an attack on Hinata right now. Although, of course, if he tried something so underhanded, he could have been walking right into her trap anyway. With this high level of battle, you'd never be crowned. With this high level of battle, you'd never be crowned the victor unless you overpowered your foe with a frontal attack. Either way, though, Granville's clearly knew Leon was coming. His casual tone proved it. Yeah. Sorry, I should not have started eating even that. They had to be in cahoots. Aren't you being a little too friendly with me? Who are you? Yeah. Gotta take your pills or whatever, Richie.
Yes, I'm aware.
Gotta take your meds.
That's also the tone that says, hey, stop reading.
Alright.
Yeah. This is your reminder.
That's my cue to stop.
Yeah, that's your cue to
I'm
shut the
special.
fuck up.
I actually get a timer.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing this half the time. I don't know what's going on there.
That's okay.
I got an itch.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure I may have eczema too, on top of all the other shit that's biting at me. So,
Fun.
yeah, ain't it though? Ain't it just so? Okay, where am I at? Oh, hang on a second.
Yes. We haven't met in person before. Oh, jeez. I didn't even eat that much. Why am I burping? It's the food.
Something about trying to actually act, it's like it always tries to bring out some of the worst shit in you. That's why
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that I'm
Burping.
also trying to fight back my cough, which is from allergies. So it's like, yeah, if you hear like an air purifier in the background there, that's why. Because it's like, I'm surprised I'm not coughing in the middle, though.
We haven't met in
that's good.
person before. You've been very good to the children I've collected. I'm sorry to make you take time out to come here. Wait, they're not in cahoots? Because it sounded like this was Leon and Granville's first meeting. It could be an act, but... Oh, and speaking of which, a lot of the other worlders I just fought against look no older than middle schoolers. Was that what Granville was talking about? What do you mean by that? I have no business with you. I came here to... I'm the one who summoned the children with the spells you taught me, you realize. Are you going to claim ignorance? Aren't you using unstable otherworld children to bring yourself more elementalists? Warriors as powerful as... Oh, elementalists? Warriors as powerful as Shizue Aizawa herself.
So he's just dropping this whole bomb on Rimuru right now.
It was like someone punched me in the head. Hinata lowered her own sword, eyes darting between Granville and Leon. Report! Danger! The subject Granville Rosso is using wordplay in an attempt to pit you against Demon Lord Leon. I had a hunch. Clearly Granville's plan, however misguided, was to antagonize Leon as much as possible. It'd be a terrible idea to lend much credence to anything he said, and yet... How many failures do you think we had to endure to call over all the people you wanted? That's what those people are. The cast-offs. And yet, I just couldn't ignore that. Shizu was summoned by Leon and cast aside by him, and she wasn't alone. Leon had reportedly summoned many other children. That was an unforgivable crime. Is that true? Very true. Indeed, Demon Lord Rimuru. As merchants, it's our job to provide whatever merchandise our customers demand. Granville's manner of speech irritated me. I wasn't even asking him. The providers need to have ethics, too. Throwing all the blame on the consumer went against my creed. But even ahead of that, there was something else I wanted to confirm. So, you summoned other people, too? Not just Shizu? Yes. Even when you knew that children subjected to unstable summonings have drastically shortened lifespans? That was... Leon was about to say something only to be interrupted by a roaring, echoing laugh. Granville was the source of it. Don't make me laugh, Leon. Aren't you the one who explicitly asked me to provide otherworlder children no older than 10 years old? Or than 10 years, instead of attempting to subjugate the stable summons, you found it easy to make the unstable ones feel they owed you their lives, didn't you? And you used them as weapons. Through the taunts, Granville's goals were clear. He knew I could be a soft-hearted pushover, and he was attempting to milk that as much as he could, fanning my do-gooder attitude and trying to make me despise Leon. The thing was... His words were convincing. If Leon's aim was to implant elemental spirits into children, then Granville was right. They needed to be unstable. And maybe that was why I detected exactly those sorts of elementals within Leon's underlings here. Is that true? Yes, but there's a reason for... Shut up! You're the cause of all this. With that shout, I started running toward Leon. I just had to go and give him a wallop, or I wouldn't be able to contain myself. I knew full well I was playing into Granville's hands, but I just couldn't contain my rage for Leon any longer. I can hear his reasons later. First things first, I had to vent my anger. So with everything I had, I struck at Leon. He didn't move. All he did was raise a hand to keep his troops at bay, staring directly at me. Was he that confident, or, leaving my accelerating thoughts in the dust, my fist drew closer and closer to him. He didn't move.
You fisted him? What?
Target shows no signs of countering you. It will be a direct strike.
There was no trap in the end. My punch thundered against Leon's right cheek. Happy now? My full power was in that, but apparently it didn't damage Leon much. It must have cut his lip because he felt obliged to take out a handkerchief to wipe up some blood. But his composure was fully retained. Pfft. I know I wasn't using any skill there, but maybe I underestimated him a little. Still, that punch taught me one thing. The guy, the Demon Lord Leon, was more good-natured than I thought. He had no obligation to take that punch, but he shed all his defenses and took it anyway. And that proved it. He came across as cold and unfeeling, but maybe he wasn't such a bad guy, actually. Shizu didn't hate him after all. She tried to, but as she put it, she just couldn't. And it was her final desire in life to figure out what Leon's motivations were. Of course, I didn't need Raphael's warning. I was calm from the beginning. I made a promise with Shizu. A promise that I'd take the feelings she left behind and shove them in Leon's face. And I was fully ready to take advantage of today for that. Leon had to have some reason for what he did. I could decide later whether to forgive him. As entangled as things were today, making a foe out of Leon as well would be suicidal. Getting emotional like this wasn't the shrewdest plan. He was no ally of mine, but he was no enemy either, and now that I knew that, I had to speak up. Not yet, no. That was my way of expressing Shizu's feelings, but I still need to show you mine. Let's talk about things in depth right now. So will he pick up on my intention here? I noticed an eyebrow twitch up. That's a relief. He's not such a fool after all. So, great. Let's talk it out then. Our plans for how to deal with Granville. With that in mind, I readied my sword in Leon's direction. He was a dead ringer for Shizu in her youth. There was no pigmentation. His skin was smooth, his hair shining like each individual strand had its own glow. He couldn't be described as looking Asian now, but he still retained Shizu's core features, making them all the more beautiful. Now his golden eyes were trained upon Leon, his pink lips speaking to him. Not yet, no. That was my way of expressing Shizu's feelings, but I still need to know. I need to show you mine. Let's talk about things in depth right now. Such were the words of Rimuru, and Leon immediately understood. I see. He wants to take advantage of this situation. We barely know each other, and he's decided to trust me without a moment's doubt. He's more stout-hearted than I expect. But Leon thought he liked that. Rimuru seemed to be driven by emotion right now, but apparently that was all part of his calculations, his way of determining, in this chaotic battlefield, exactly who was friend and who was foe. I always knew I couldn't let my guard down around him, but at times like these, I'm glad he's around. He took his own blade up from his hip, holding it forward. As he took the Dragon airship here, Leon was briefed about an emergency magical call from Cerberus. It seemed one of his agents had fallen out of contact, and there was a chance someone had blown their cover. Exactly who found this agent out, they didn't know. Maybe it was the Demon Lord Rimuru, maybe one of the 5 elders, maybe even the Crusaders, for all he knew. With the agent captured and no further information available, nearly everyone was a suspect. Of course, Leon wasn't gullible enough to fully trust Cerberus. There was a plausible chance they were hatching an elaborate scheme to deceive him. But one thing was certain. Being here right now, in this holy space, was akin to walking into a trap, and yet Leon couldn't stay away, even if this is a trap. If I find Chloe here, no matter how much danger it entailed, Leon would never care. And now, crossing swords with Rimuru, Leon was finally serene again. He looked around, surveying the area. The scene was shockingly chaotic. It was difficult to determine who was on which side. The elite magic knights guarding him had been dragged into the fray. While he wasn't paying attention, they had been lured into opening hostilities with some of the local defense forces. Keep yourselves defended. Do not kill the enemy. Yes, sir! Now seemed like an opportune time to give Arlos, the Silver Knight, some orders. He did so via an anonymous magical call, but there was every chance someone would eavesdrop on it. That's why he kept the orders to something that wouldn't cause problems later. Regardless, Leon was the intruder here. To the Demon Lord Luminous, he was an uninvited guest, and it wouldn't surprise him if she decided to retaliate. If she did, he wanted to retain as much of an advantage as possible, while keeping the dead to a minimum. But where is Luminous? Leon and Rimuru were fighting near the cathedral entrance, while the paladin Captain Hinatan, Granville, were a short distance away. Farther afield, Shion and Ranga, both present at the last Walpurgis, were in pitched combat against the insectoid Rosal. Luminous, the master of these sacred lands, would never allow open warfare here, and yet she was missing. And if someone like Luminous were pinned down elsewhere, that was seriously bad news. To Leon, this entire situation was nothing short of nonsensical. But as he looked over matters, he could see where the trap was. Someone, he didn't know who, was trying to goad him into fighting the Demon Lord Rimuru. What this someone didn't expect, and what Leon was lucky enough to see, is that Rimuru wasn't so easily hoodwinked. Now Rimuru was attempting to take advantage of that to gain control of things. I see. So he's the one behind all this. Very well. Might as well try trusting you. It was a rarity to find someone as wary as him, but for once in his life, Leon decided to meekly trust in Rimuru. 236, and everything ends at 296. Jesus Christ.
Ugh.
We're going to be on chapter 4 for a while, guys. It's going to be a long
Leon wasn't the
ride.
only one thoroughly confused, and then other stuff happened at the end.
Yeah, Leon was thoroughly confused. Other stuff happened. The end. All right.
Mhm.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's where we're going to call it for the night. I'm not
All
going
right.
to sit there
Okay.
and read for forever. I could read for another 15 minutes, but that would not.
It'd be that extra 15 minutes.
It would just
for
be
me.
that extra
My
15
legs are
minutes. It
focused.
would not take us very far. I mean, yeah, we would.
We're at a dot.
We're at a good spot
Yeah.
to lay
Mm.
ourselves a good foundation and framework for the next part. The action's really picking up, and that's a good place to really start off
hmm
next time around.
Oh, yeah.
And we shall see where
Mhm.
things go from there.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I know.
That's okay. That's what it says. Oh, man.
That's
I
okay.
guess that's a
That's
good
just more
thing.
to
And
look
people are
forward
going,
to next week.
"Aw."
Yeah, it just means
That is
there's
good.
more to look forward to next week. That's all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's an extra 15
Be sure to
minutes.
Things are
tune in
starting to
next
pick up
time.
pretty fast.
Same bat time, same bat channels.
Slime time. Slime
Mhm.
time. Same slime time. Same
Slime
slime
time.
channel.
Slime time and the slime channel.
Guys, if you want to hear some wacky hijinks in a little bit, come over to my channel. Moon and I are going to be grabbing eggs over in Phasmophobia.
Yeah, grabbing oh, wait, no, other eggs. Okay.
No, Easter eggs.
Oh, yeah, the Easter egg stuff.
Yeah. There's trophies for that. Literally
Maybe I'll join
literally
you with
what
that.
we're actually come join us. Literally, it does
I could
not
probably try to
matter.
see some
It
of the
does not
headsets.
matter what difficulty you play it on. We don't actually have to figure out what the ghost is, but hey, bonus money and experience if you want it.
Oh, we need to get Lady on that. She needs to get out of debt. We need to get Lady on that.
Grabbing Moon's eggs, but like literally, we're just grabbing a bunch of eggs and stuff. And
Grabbing
once
Moon's.
again, I am going to be setting up very soon a multiplayer server over on freaking Sons of the Forest. So myself and up to 7 other people jump on, and we're gonna start building our bases over there. I know that there's ways that we can like literally build a base in the middle of a lake, or like build floating bases, because we can build floating bases and get that shit set up and start using zip lines, where we can use zip lines to get up to our bases and make it where the mutants and cannibals can't get to our fucking bases. And
Call abusing the game mechanics.
Moon's mochi.
Moon's mochis.
Mhm.
Yes,
Can I
they're
build a
soft
wall
and
and
chewy
make
and delectable.
Make Moon.
Oh,
No,
Chewy is
that
not a
says
good
he'll
word for
pay for it.
those.
And you'll
Which is
pay
awful.
for it
That's awful.
because you're the Mexican. Oh, that's terrible. Moon's
Oof.
horrible. Oh man, that's terrible.
Oof.
That's awful.
Moon's Donuts. Have you told him about that, by the way?
Oh.
Has anybody
Your
told him
donuts?
about that? Has anybody told him about that? In Resident Evil 3,
The
there's a
Guts
donut
as
shop
glory
called
holes?
Moon's Donuts.
There is?
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a thing?
Guys, buy my donuts!
Moon's Donuts.
His lunar donuts.
Stick your mouth right on my...
Right next
No.
to Share,
Don't worry.
You had the
Right
voice
next
of
to
you
Goptus.
immediately
Don't
credited
worry.
as it was
right
coming
next
out
to
of your mouth.
right next to
covered.
Goptus glory holes.
Ew.
Oh, yeah. That is the thing.
You should have said they were jellyfish.
Resident
bu-
Evil.
Moon
The
makes
best
donuts
seller,
now? Oh, no.
best sellers include glazed.
No, look it up. Look it up. It's an actual thing.
Stuffed.
Moon's Donuts.
Filled with
Can I get
nuts.
some? Can
I
I
like
get
the
you some
I like the
good-
strawberry.
No,
filled
no.
ones
You don't
myself.
get
I gotta
get
tear 'em
him some
apart.
donuts. You get donuts from him.
Yeah, I'm making the donuts, guys.
You're making the donuts.
No.
Kabuto's cream pie. No,
No, yeah,
No,
it was
it's
Goptus
Goptus
glory
glory
hole. But
holes.
it was close.
Gopta's glory holes. Oh man.
It was close.
Yeah, I have a deal with Gopta. I make the donuts. He gets the glory hole side of it. So.
Yeah, he's got like a bucket underneath, and you're like,
Yeah, that's
Boop.
basically it.
This is where we dump all the money to give him that money shower. Except
by
it's not
early.
paper,
My
it's
man,
all
I don't
coins.
wake up till 3. The hell are you talking about?
Bavarian cream
Mm.
pies. Oh man,
mm-hmm.
you gotta
I
watch
wish I
out
could.
for- you
stay
gotta
up
watch
late.
out for those Bavarian cream pies.
You better watch out.
Oh.
You better
You
watch
better
out.
watch
You
out.
better
You
watch
better
out.
watch out. You better watch
Better
out.
watch out.
All right,
You better watch out.
guys. Thank you so much for coming by, hanging out with us. We will see you guys all very
Yep.
soon. We already got new news to talk about on Anime Church this week. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
That
saw
was a
that.
thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Star Wars
Yeah.
Vision Season 2.
Yeah, that was a.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that happened. So yeah. Stop by.
I'm sad that they're not doing sequel episodes to the stuff from Season 1, because I'm not actually looking
I
forward
am too, because I wanted to get some stuff on the Ninth Jedi that looked really badass. I wanted
Oh
a sequel to
yeah,
that.
and the Rabbit Girl too. I forgot what
right,
that
guys.
was called.
Anyway, we will see you all later. Thank you very, very much. More slime coming again next week. We will talk to you then. Hopefully, if things go well. I don't know. Keep posted. Things are kind of in flux with me specifically because I don't know when I'm moving at this point. So, I'll let you all know. Keep an eye on the Discord and all that stuff. Just keep an eye on socials, all that stuff. Yeah. That's all I can say.
Yep.
'Cause I don't know at the moment when it is specifically that I am moving anymore. We did have a date, things fell through, and now we're just kind of everything's kind of up in the air. So yeah.
Yeah, and then
Wait
you
to
don't
see
want
how it
to
falls.
like start packing and be like, all right, how
I
long
mean,
is
I
this
know
podcast gonna stay here
the
for?
only thing that I know for sure is I have to be out of here by the 30th because once the 30th hits, they're kicking me out. So
Mm.
so yeah, that's it. That's all I know.
Mhm.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.